Dave the Diver has become one of my favorite games of all time. This seemingly simplistic game about diving quickly expands into what is one of the most memorable gaming experiences I ever had. I explored these deep blue depths by day, managed a sushi bar at night, and crafted weapons to aid me in my expeditions, while also squeezing in a bit of peaceful farming on the side. But most importantly, a lot of diving and fishing were all a part of what I enjoyed whilst uncovering the secrets of these strange waters, with its own unexpected story to tell. Join me for this feature-length film with your snacks and beverages as I uncover the mysteries of this giant blue hole. I played 100% of Dave the Diver. This story begins with a magnificent ocean-going view. A hermit crab scurries about the sand. In comes Dave, in his short shorts, lounging, enjoying a well-earned holiday, I bet. Well, that lasted all of 5 seconds, because that critter made itself a little too personal with him. A phone call breaks this awkward experience. Allmate here is excited, and all I can ascertain from this conversation is that he's talking about sushi or something. Whatever it was about, it convinced Dave here to cut his holiday short and take a plane ride into what is going to be the most incredible experience of his life. I got here quickly, and it seems this fella, also known as Cobra, is pleased about my punctuality. Dave is not overly impressed. He was indeed on a holiday. And so, where's the sushi at? Cobra points out this giant blue hole. It's nothing like Dave has ever seen before. It's not just the size. Cobra elaborates that every time you enter these waters, the terrain and ecology changes. It means that this would make an excellent business opportunity. What sort of business opportunity? Well, it has something to do with the fact that I'm a diver. Enter Prologue, a sushi bar by the blue hole. It's a good thing that I'm warming up. I am a little bit rusty, and I take my first dive. At least I still have my form. I partake in a short tutorial, learn how to swim, swipe viciously with my knife underwater, and I try my hand at harpooning this tiny fish, who struggles briefly before I drag him into my inventory with no exertion from me. Cobra is pleased with my athleticism and barks for me to come back on board. So, down to business. Does Dave like sushi? I think he does. Look at that aura of excitement. This aura is mimicked by Cobra, who knows a guy who definitely knows his sushi. Cobra has opened a sushi shop right here by this blue hole, which previously mentioned changes its ecology, so there's plenty of different fish from all over the world down there. Where does Dave the Diver come into all this? Well, I'll be the diver and the procurer of fresh fish for this business venture. I am given a choice. I played 100% of Dave the Diver by declining right now. Now, of course, I'm going to accept this job offer, but my list of job duties immediately expands. Apparently, I also drive this air boat, and I take us to the sushi bar, which is over there. The place does look nice. I meet Bancho, who is this awesome fellow Cobra told me about that definitely knows his sushi. As Bancho describes it, sushi is the food that combines the soul of the sea and land. It symbolizes Mother Nature herself. A very profound thought. I like a fella committed to his calling in life, which is to bring the very taste of Mother Nature to everyone. Speaking of Mother Nature... Ooh. That is a hell of an earthquake. It's the train passing the house, of course. Oh no. Now normally, this would set a startup venture back some, but Cobra has spent all of his money, and the only way to fix this place back up is to do what we need to do, which is to earn some money making and selling sushi. Is the 3 fish I caught before enough? And nope, this angers Bancho. I need to go back out there and catch at least 7 more. I need to be prepared with all the fish procurement by the evening, as Bancho Sushi, and that's the name of this place, is only open in the evenings. My job is to catch everything we need on a daily basis. Fresh sells best. Alrighty then, so we just need to catch 7 fish, eh? Well, that's one, and that's a blue tang. This is going to be a Salima Porgy. Note that this one also had a new tag attached to it, meaning this is the first time I've ever caught this particular specimen, followed by a rainbow wrasse. I check my inventory. I have 1.8 out of 9 kilograms I can carry right now, and I can see that I've got some galls on the left hand side as well. I dive deeper and I find some wood on the sea floor. I then slap this jellyfish silly with my diving knife. This big boy weighs a full kilo, and I rip up some kajime from the sea floor ore as well. I punched this ore node several times, chunks of it chip away, and upon further inspection, this is copper ore. I am finding a lot down here. I deliberately hurt myself upon this jellyfish, and when I do, I see that I lose a little bit of my O2 bar on the bottom left corner. O2 is my health in this game, and I will gradually lose it over time regardless. I find an underwater chest, which I help myself to, and inside I find a sleepy toy hammer. I make sure to whack a fish with it, and it makes these little squeaky sounds. A little later, I find an intact O2 canister, and it completely replenishes my oxygen, so I'm free to continue my exploring. I see a big boy fish here, who takes a bit more effort to catch with my harpoon. In this case, I have to smash my spacebar to reel him in, and when I do, I exceed my carry limit. Once I reach my first threshold, I begin to slow down. I can add more weight into my inventory until a certain hidden threshold is reached. But I'm done for today. I've caught plenty of fish, so I go back to the surface. It is nighttime when I get back up here. It is time to head back to Bancho's with my catches so that he can do his preparations. Before I do, a dive log is presented to me. It details to me how long I've dived for, how deep I went, how many fish I caught, what my biggest catch was, and any other items I snagged along the way. There's also a specific breakdown of all the fish I caught, and I can send them all to the fish tank at the bar. Cobra says to me that I can only dive 2 times per day, morning and afternoons, and obviously nighttime is all about selling the sushi. Speaking of which, Bancho said that he's mostly set up, to which point Dave is ready to call it a day. He has in fact procured all the catches today. Dave wanting to take his leave and clock off for the day offends Bancho. Apparently Cobra, without informing Dave, insisted he was to help Bancho run the sushi bar as well from now on. I don't understand. Look at that unhappy face. Might I be unhappy as well? Cobra told me that there would be somebody to help with the ingredients and serving. He said all I needed to do is cook. Well, he said all I needed to do was dive. And who else is there for that but you? Wait, I never worked at a restaurant before. The guest will be here soon. I'll give you a quick primer, so pay attention. Oh, goodness gracious me. Literally thrown in the deep end. The perpetrator of all this is calmly sitting there, by the way, not offering any assistance. No matter, Bancho directs me into the ingredients section that showcases all the bits and bobs that the bar currently has on hand, which is all the stuff that I collect during the day. These ingredients can be added to the menu, either by themselves or as a collection of ingredients making up a recipe, which I'll be unlocking later on. For now, I slap this blue tank sushi on the menu, and I state how many dishes are to be prepared from this. It's a short while later, and I have 11 dishes prepared from various fish. These meals will be prepared tonight. A Cobra, who's been doing nothing by the way, interrupts my training, demanding some green tea. A mini game. I press and hold S to pour the tea until I think it's at the perfect level. In this case, it was. He's hungry now. Doing nothing all day must take its toll on the body. Hey Cobra. Bancho is over there whipping up a plate of the good stuff. I grab it, make sure to dash and get the food to Cobra before he loses his patience. It's too bad he gets a phone call and he ducks out. What a rude prick. Bancho's policy. Sushi never gets reused. If it's not eaten, it's thrown out. A waste, I think. Honestly, I'm gonna have to feel like Sanji in this one. You never waste food. Ever. Well, that's my first ever meal in the bin. Anyways, Bancho Sushi opens to the public for the first time. Up there is the menu I prepared. If that runs out, we serve basic Norimaki sushi, and in comes my first patrons, one of them already demanding some green tea. Within moments, I have 3 orders to run out, and only 1 pair of legs and 1 pair of arms. I use my stamina to jog sparingly, and I do my best. That particular customer has just finished her meal, and we received our first gold. It is my first day, by the way. Oh, what? Wrong person? No way. I have my work cut out for me, and in all the commotion, I accidentally interact with the wasabi board thing here. I have to make sure that this thing stays topped up, or else Bancho can't prepare any food. Speaking of which, out of those 11 prepared dishes, 10 have been sold and eaten. 1 is going to waste, so I think I prepared very well, and the last customer for the night takes their leave. Bancho's is closed for the day. A graph table pops up, showing me my most profitable dish, how much we made, which is 99 gold, our expenses, which which was 0, and my score from the customers, which is 5 out of 5. We have also earned 5 artisan flames, which I'll touch on again later. For now, a well-earned break. Dave, Bancho, and some random cat over there. Somewhere else, there's this delivery boat without the lights on. Rookie mistake, mate. I've played Dredge before, and that's a big no-no. See there, your negligence has summoned the Kraken, and he's going to drag your butt down into the abyss. Sorry mate, you're a goner. Saturday the 2nd of October, also known as day 2. I have a random person calling me. Her name is Ellie, apparently. She's looking for a diver and she's asking something from me. She's a student and she wants to study the ecology of this deep blue hole. For starters, she wants agar and red starfish. She will reward me. I hope it's money. I'm in. I then laugh like a child when I call Cobra, despite the fact that he's right there. He's not impressed, of course. Upon asking Bancho if I should bring him anything in particular, he barks back. Just bring him whatever I can and he can make the most of it, so long as I bring lots of it. I like this fella. I have my to-do list. Pay off the last of the repairs to the bar and help out Ellie. Well, best get on with my day job. It's only a few seconds later and I find my first red starfish for Ellie, followed with an immediate catching of a random fish that carelessly got too close to my harpoon. As I continue down, I can see that quest items have a little icon above them, so this should make it easy for me to locate them. I harpoon as many fish as I can as well, of course. A lagoon triggerfish. That is a mean looking fish right there. Bigger as well, and being focused on him, I dive deeper, more than 40 meters, and this is as deep as my current diving suit can comfortably go. I lose my O2 quicker because of the current depth I'm at. I noticed the red flashing quickly and I hastily retraced my strokes. Luckily, a few O2 canisters are strewn about. I see a gaggle of these egg-looking jellyfish and I decide to load up on them today. I'm nearing my carrying capacity, so I make sure to look for this agar for Ellie as well. Luckily, there's a bunch right there. I then find this cooking pot down here and there's salt in this thing. Okay, I won't argue. I call it quits for my morning dive. Ellie seems surprised I did the task. She's thankful, I guess, and she will require further assistance. For now, some gold, olive oil, and soy sauce. Thank you kindly. Apparently, these funds I collected for myself outside of Bancho's sushi is going towards fixing the bar. Okay, sure, whatever. Dave doesn't seem to care. What I care about are encountering any nasty fish down below. Cobra suggests I also take a gun with me. He hooks me up with a gun specialist. His name is Duff. Now, oddly enough, any equipment I find down below breaks up when I bring it to the surface. Duff needs to make me something that I can take down with me permanently. I need to supply him with 1 rope and 1 scrap iron, because for some reason I can bring materials to the surface, but not equipment. Okay, easy mate. I take a dive, my afternoon dive to be specific. I fry some more eggs, I find a rope, and a scrap iron that's being guarded by an eel just above it. I am a sneaky bastard and I make a quick grab and dash. I tried to bully this big boy fish, only to get harassed by this small boy. Don't let his size fool you, that is indeed a lionfish. It took 2 harpoon shots to finally reel in this little fella. That was 2 for him, but this dopey looking vertebrae took 5 shots before I was finally able to reel him in. Big boy indeed. I am a heavy boy, running out of air, and I need to make my escape. Duff can make me a basic underwater rifle with those materials. What a lad. This cutscene though. Well, that's one way to make a gun, and this is the way I can enhance a dish. I use the same ingredients to improve the flavor and the selling price. The cost of enhancing increases with each level gained. Also, just to let you know, the cutscenes in this game are something I really enjoyed. Oh, that is... that's a pretty sharp blade. Oh, that poor fish. He's like, oh no. Please don't. Cutscenes aside, I have tonight's menu prepared, and it was a steady night. I prepared another 11 meals, but there were 4 left at the end. Either way, I made a little bit more money as I sold the most expensive dishes I could, a philosophy I will always follow. In the morning, it's raining. Hey, it's always raining on day 3 in Stardew Valley as well. I meet Dr. Bacon, who proceeds to make one of my favorite sound effects in this game. Anyways, all mate here is an archaeologist who studies the Sea People civilization. According to legend, the Sea People civilization once occupied this region. I'm a diver. He's looking for remnants of the people in the sea. Obviously, he wants me to look for relics for him to prove the existence of this legendary civilization. Of course, he will assist me. For example, he can upgrade my diving suit right now. I open iDiver, which is an app I got, and I upgrade my diving suit here. I can upgrade all my diving related gear here later as well, which I definitely will. But right now, I can dive 80 meters as opposed to 40. Enter Chapter 1, Traces of the Sea People. Before my next dive, I decide to upgrade my air tank. A little extra health, or O2 in this case, will help a lot, as well as upgrading my cargo box. I can now carry 13 kilograms, up from 9, which is a winner. I decide to give Bacon a call. Dr. Bacon. Hey buddy. What is it? Did you discover something new? That's not it. I see. Tell me if you see something peculiar. Whatever it may be. That conversation lasted all of 6 seconds. Now it is raining. I wonder if I'll see any different fish today. Well, not a fish, but a weapon crate. Now that I've spoken to Duff, these will start to appear. They can sometimes provide me with a new gun, or in this case an upgrade to my current one, making it more deadly. I also find a cheap Japanese sword here. Like specifically, it's called a cheap Japanese sword. Well, it is better than my knife. I then see an ammo box, but I'm yet to use my gun. Alright. Test this out. Oh, you're dead, mate. Oh, that's funny. And this replenishes your ammunition. In this next crate, I found an upgrade to my harpoon, giving it a tranquilizer augmentation. In this instance, I used it on this small stripy boy, and he fell asleep, so I simply scooped him up. It also put this big boy to sleep, and when I snagged him, I instantly slowed down. He is a chunky boy. By the way, I'm about 70 meters down, a new personal best for me. So I harvest some lead, slice up some kelp, and slowly ascend, but I come across this walkie-talkie thing, which is in fact an escape pod. I access it and it allows me to instantly go to the surface. These are golden. While I was out, the repairs were done to the bar, says Cobra. The speech bubble obscures your view, I apologize, but trust me, it's all fixed. I can now upgrade or change the interior style myself if I want to, which I will much later on for an achievement. For now, we need to work on the publicity of the restaurant. We are kind of remote. Dave suggests that we use an app called Cookster. Bancho isn't overly enthusiastic, but as he mumbles to himself, Dave has already created the account. 1, 2, 3 were all set up. This app will tell me the popularity of the restaurant, people's experiences, and the higher rated we are, the more customers and recipes will become available to us. It's my afternoon dive, and a dolphin spots and approaches me. Obviously, he wants me to follow him. Clearly, this is not me following him. Nope, I'm opening a crate here that has a new gun for me to unlock, the triple axle. It's like a shotgun. I need to find guns like this several times to slowly unlock the blueprints, until Duff will be able to make me a permanent one to take down with me. Remember, the ones I find like this break up after each dive. I then followed that dolphin, and I see a pink one is strapped over here in a net. I guess he wants me to free her. So I use my knife, and this inspires a song from me. It's Pinky and the Brain, they're Pinky and the Brain. One is a genius, the other's insane. The laboratory mice, the genes have been spliced. The Pinky and the Brain. Goodbye, dolphins out of here. Hey, they left me something. Indeed, they left a pearl for me. Very nice. I then make sure to catch a variety of fish, and then give chase to this cuttlefish. Oh my god. I wasn't paying attention. He farted on me. Yep. Quite rude. I was supposed to be looking for a Sea People relic, which I find right there. Come back to the boat, Seth. I'll be waiting. Oh, dude. It just like latches onto you, that eye. Can you like not, mate? Oh yeah, that is a big cracking boy. I was about to head home when I see this saw-nose shark thing. Oxygen is critical. I fire volley after volley. I dodge his charge attack. And when I successfully down him, I collect my bounty. 2 lots of saw shark meat, very heavy stuff. A sigh of relief when I see an oxygen canister here. I was close to dying. And I finally make my escape. Bacon is pleased that I got him the artifact. We shall continue to work together to uncover the secrets of the sea people. Well, 300 gold, 5 olive oil, and 5 turmeric are my reward. Do people just carry ingredients in their pockets or something? I also found that triple axle gun down below 2 times today, so I actually unlocked the gun for Duff to make for me. Beauty mate. Dave has a quick winch, understandably, that running a sushi bar with 2 people is tough. Oldmate is also swimming the entire day fighting sharks. Now, this fine looking lady comes into the bar, Miss Yoshi. Apparently Bancho is familiar with her. She got wind of our bar on the Cookster app. She saw the name and wanted to check it out to see if it was actually Bancho and to see if he is still the same as they have past history. He clearly still is the same. This brings up drama from their past working at some hotel, but it's not time to delve too deep into that story. What you need to know right now? Yoshi claims that Bancho makes terrible food. He refutes this, of course, claiming that a whole roasted shark head is an excellent dish. Yoshi begs him to stop, that she may just have to judge the meal for herself to prove him wrong, and after she's tried it, then she will tell us why she's here. I am to collect what Bancho needs to make this meal, a white tip reef shark head and olive oil. This adds the first meal I can research from the artisan tab, whole roasted shark head. This is how Bancho does his research, by the way. Anyways, tonight I changed the order of my dishes to what sells for the most, and I see that those saw shark meals are the real deal, especially when I enhance them a few times. A steady night follows. I only sold 6 meals, but my profits skyrocketed. If only my subscriber count can skyrocket like that, that would be lovely. Bacon has some lucky news for me in the morning. The artifact, which he has now studied, had large amounts of an unknown substance detected, which he can pinpoint as iron compressed underwater. He's made a radar to read the wavelengths of this particular refined metal. I guess I'll be using this to see if it leads me anywhere in particular. I go ahead and upgrade my harpoon gun, because I want to reel fish in quicker. I also like to breathe, some more O2 capacity, and more storage because I want to loot up a storm. If I actually have a look here, oh yeah, Cookster. The sushi here is nice. I don't like the strange guy serving it though. Really? Are you joking me? This one's like an absolute troll. I'm not gonna like your post though. Yeah, not bugger that girl. But I did make sure to like all the other posts about the bar on Cookster. This is how you take a profile picture? It's hard. He doesn't even make any kind of attempt to smile. It's just like, I'm here to eat your soul. Well, it's a solid effort anyways. On my next dive, I noticed that the radar is directing me right and down. Do you remember this big boy fishy? It took like 5 shots for my first level harpoon. It now takes 1. I needed this. I also use it to slap these barrel jellyfish a bit, but I do use my gun to engage what I think is the shark that Bancho is looking for. And after a short scuffle, it is indeed the specimen as I cut the head off the thing. On the surface, a suspicious looking fella paddles his little boat towards me. My god, the resemblance to a certain kid in an anime that a lot of us watched as kids is striking. His name is Sato, and he's asking me about this blue hole and how it changes frequently. It's the best place to collect Marinka, some card collecting game about types of fish. He goes ahead and installs the app for me, and I don't do anything special after that. I just go about my business catching all the fish and they will be added to my app. It's kind of like my encyclopedia on dredge. A quick peruse and I can see that I have caught 40% of the blue hole shallow species, but only 14% of the medium depth. Okay, I've got some work to do then. Now, I really pay attention here, and yes, this terrain does indeed look different to this morning's dive. It does change. I wanted to make bank tonight. Here's what I'm looking for. Okay, here we go. Here is the specimen I'm after. Hey, buddy. I mean, I was so polite. Don't you dare, mate. This is how he reciprocates my pleasantness. See? Oh, he just skewered me. Oh, that's not bad, that's bad. I had an O2 capsule I found in a chest, and that was a lifesaver. Anyways, a good catch for the day. I'm reeling in this trevally next, and I have a different harpoon augmentation, so I need to slap A and D to reel this fella in. This night, I make sure to slap this roasted shark head on the menu for Yoshi. This meal will serve 5 customers. I choose to enhance the saw shark meal some more, and Banjo displays that he's a fan of Zoro from One Piece, as he goes beast mode. Mate, it's just like Zoro. I don't know what he's doing to that fish, that meal. Apparently this is how you enhance a dish, you beat the crap out of it. Anyways, I plan on only selling these tonight. I bring the offending shark meal to Yoshi, who seems to be put off by the display, but a promise is a promise. How do you like it? Well, it looks like Bancho has proven himself correct. She loves the meal. Her words, it is quite lovely. Bancho definitely looks at the essence of the meal. The shark looks terrible, but the robust meat and their head has a delicious taste. Now, the reason she's here. We need staff members. She can help us out with hiring scrubs, employees I mean. It's a bit awkward here, but the game night freezes while Yoshi explains the entire hiring process. But I need to send out word that we're looking for staff. A simple flyer ad will do for now, as it costs nothing. This should bring people in tomorrow and we can discuss it further then. For now, I go ahead and do my thing. And while I do, I unlock the bronze level on Cookster. A few recipes become available for us, and they look really nice because they serve multiple people. What I can't do is serve multiple people at the same time. I am under the pump right now. I do, in fact, have my very first few unhappy customers leave with empty bellies. The profit is huge, but my rating has taken a hit. Yeah, nah, we need some extra hands in here. Goodness me, no rest for Dave. A phone call from Ellie in the morning. She's looking for blue and brown shells. Okay, that sounds easy enough. I check my Cookster feed again, and there's Banjo holding that bronze award. 35 likes. Better make that 36. And better upgrade my cargo box. 28 is less than 36, but we're talking 28 kilos of fish I can carry. Also, more O2 as well please, thank you kindly. Now down below, that same dolphin approaches me again. I follow him, and Pinky got herself into a bit of a mess once more. She's being dragged to the surface in a net, so I frantically start cutting the rope while poachers above are firing down at me. I think they're poachers at least. I do release it just in time, and the poachers make a break for it. And as thanks, the dolphins make a little love heart of bubbles to show their gratitude. And not just that, but another gift as well. I am given a large gold bar from dolphins. Okay, I won't argue, gold is gold. Ellie gave me gold the last time I did her homework, so I started collecting these shells for her. I also engaged another shark in glorious combat, because that roasted head meal thing was quite lucrative. All in all, I just had an easy dive looking for different fish this time. But I did find a little scooter thing in a box, which propels me through the water. It is quite nice to move rapidly through the depths. Now I do have a cargo box of 28 kilos, but I just picked up this great barracuda. I have 43 kilos on me, and finally, Dave is flashing a cargo full sign. It looks like I can always take more than what my cargo box allows, which I can and almost always will. The afternoon dive looks different again, and this small boy is a yellow tang. I swam into this cave area and there's strong currents here. It clutches my ankle, I guess, and it takes me for a quick ride. I find a pufferfish down here who deflects my harpoon when they're inflated, but once they're deflated, that power of theirs is gone and he is now mine. Right now, my vision is obscured, but I can see that the radar is directing me another 19 meters down, but I'm at the maximum level I can dive to, which means I need to upgrade my suit before I can find out what's down there. I also need to keep tabs on my carry weight, especially when I'm engaging something dangerous. I nearly became shark food here. Oh no, that's not good. Shot him in the butt twice. Quite the offensive strategy, I must say. I've gathered the shells for Ellie, and she mentions this is her delivery to Eco Watcher. She lied, saying that this was for research, but I'm introduced to the Eco Watcher app regardless. I'm gonna touch on this later. Right now, we have our first applicant. Her name is Kyoko. I can see her stats. I have no idea if they're good or not, but from the looks of this, I don't pay a fee to bring her on board. The game is introducing me to the mechanic, sure, but I wonder what her salary will be. I have to assign her, and I'm instructed to allocate her to the front of house. This makes sense. Poor Dave is really quite slow at running. This is her first words to me. Opening only for the evenings. I am too tired at such a late hour. Darling, you applied for this job. I didn't write the job description thing, but I'm sure as hell it would have stated evenings only. No sympathies for you. You know what game I think Bancho has played? Clearly Bancho has played World of Warcraft and he used to be a mage. Yep, I played a paladin and a rogue. Good times. I see a new dish I bought with the artisan points. It only takes agar and some soy sauce, and it serves 5 people. Yeah, this is a winner for me. 17 meals are prepared this evening. The night commences. Kyoko can't pour drinks. Goodness me, Dave has got this. But I can see her moving in the background there, so this is a huge improvement in our dining section. New problem though. Bancho, despite the fact that he's a sushi god, is still just one man. There's multiple people here currently wanting meals, and oh boy, he just can't keep up. A profit is up, but I'm sure we had some hungry customers. Also, right now I can see that we had an expense of 14 gold in the pay section. Kyoko's salary is 14 gold per night. I'm noticing this now in the editing stage. As Dave is also now the manager. His job list is expanding every day, I swear, but anyways, Yoshi introduces me to the management app the next morning, so I can check the status of the bar while I'm not there. I get distracted by this Eco Watcher app that Ellie showed to me yesterday. It looks like I collect a bunch of specimens, bones, shells, fish, or whatever, and I deliver them in exchange for points, which would lead to rewards down the line. Okay, sounds good to me. Upgrading my diving suit also sounds good to me. I head back to the bar before diving this day, and I have a look at my hiring methods. I decide to send out an internet ad as I had the money, and this brings in applicants whose levels are higher than my current cookster level. Later, as I'm going about my business, which is killing a jellyfish on this occasion, it gives me an indication that I've slain 1 out of 5. So this Eco Watcher thing helps me keep track of my current goals as well, which is quite appreciated. A current of water hurdles me in the direction I want to go, which is also a banger for saving time. And I come across the resemblance of an entrance blocked by rubble. There are unknown letters on these pillars, but my first order of business is to get through. I'm taking my leave of this place when I hear something. Alright, cool. Looks like we might... I also successfully dodged this fella from skewering me like he did last time. The winner this round is Dave. Now, how do we get rid of a pile of rocks? With a bomb, of course. However, delivery ships have gone missing recently, and I might have a suspicion to the reason for that. Cobra can fix me up a bomb, but he also asks me to gather supplies for a drone, so Cobra can use it to find those missing ships, which I say, sure. I need to look for materials in a place where the current flows. This is not where the current flows, but I have made a friend today. Don't mind me as I steal your soy sauce. Yep, he's in a foul mood as a result of that. I have seen a cave with strong currents, and I start my search here. I quickly find a lens, but I also need a computer chip and a motor, according to that list up there. This is a motor. This is me practicing my golf swing on a pufferfish, and this is the computer chip. My search has come to an end. I have also found several guns before this, a small trank gun, neck gun, but I didn't mention them because I never used them. Right now, I find the sniper rifle. This will become my preferred weapon in this game. The laser focus and the range on this bad boy is insane. Too bad it only has 3 rounds. I have to make those shots count. At least Cobra can deploy the search drone with these materials. His reward for me is money, salt, and soy sauce, which is huge. I need to find the sniper rifle 2 more times to unlock it so Duff can make me a permanent one. And the night went as well as it could, but poor Bancho seriously needs a hand in the kitchen at this point. In the morning, Cobra has made me the bomb I need, and with the drone thing he's made, he has been able to sort out his supply issue a bit. He can now open his shop and sell me a few things every day, and I can sell him anything I don't want. Bacon hands me over a camera, and he wants me to film anything worth capturing once I head into that cave. But first, Cobra is selling some things today, so once one of them becomes relevant, I'll touch on them then. For now, that giant gold slab the dolphins gave me is sold to Old Boy here for 500 gold. Followed with selling other bits and pieces I've been scavenging. With this profit, I upgrade my cargo box even further, as well as my harpoon gun. And now here's a new habit of mine. Don't mind me, don't mind me. I said don't mind me. Just helping myself to your soy sauce. He's very displeased. Get back here! I didn't go back there. Nope, I went into the cave. I set the bombs, wait a tick, and... kablupski. Nice, now the road is clear. There's a faint light coming from inside. Going on inside. Oh, what if there's something inside? That would be an amazing scientific discovery. Classic. Yeah, let's go to this new region. Well, not exactly a monster, but I do find a large mural inside of a humanoid, but that looks like scales from the waist down. It appears to be a record chamber of the sea people. I investigate all the paintings in here, a pillar which couldn't have formed naturally underwater, and some kind of moss covered mirror. I finally take a photo of this sea human. I cut the bright flash for you as it literally blinded me. And before I leave, I find another artifact sort of thing here, and I hear voices again under the water. The Baconator says it looks like another sea people artifact. He will have to analyze this as well as the mural back at his lab. Just then, this gaggle of people show up and they start waving signs about saving the Big Blue. Their leader, John Watson, he demands to know if we know anything about that explosion that was heard just before. Yeah, nah mate, no idea what you're talking about, eh? Anyways, he's from the Sea Blue, or something, and he will carry out justice if he finds anyone causing harm to this big blue hole. A final staring confrontation. I like how Cobra is just completely unfazed by this. What a creepy dude. Will we be okay? Sea Blue, the group is infamous. They commit acts of violence under the pretext of environmental protection. It's mostly the large corporations with big fishing businesses, and not the small fisheries that harm the environment the most. They say nothing to the corporations, however. I expected taking bribes or something unsavory like that. That guy looked like bad news. It won't do you any good to be on their radar. Be careful. Alright, I will not be on their radar. Well, hopefully I don't see that fella again. What I do see is that I have collected 7 out of 5 agar, so I go ahead and donate them for the 20 research points I will get. I've done 2 by this point, and I need another 20 points for the first milestone of 50 for a reward. For my afternoon, I just enjoyed a simple laid-back dive, harpooning fish and casually fighting off an angry shark. I dived deeper than I ever had, but it's too dark to see down there, so it's best to turn back for now. I turned round into a sawtooth shark, and with a sniper rifle that I found again, yeah, insane fighting advantage here. I deliver some more eco stuff and I get my first reward, which I don't look at just yet, because good news, Bancho has a list of applicants ready for me when I get back to the bar. At first though, not an applicant, but a VIP has arrived unannounced. Yui, his reporter or something, starts yabbering about a TV show called Star Chef. Vincent, as this is old mate's name, he starts defining the art of sushi, that using proven ingredients is the way to go, and anyone who experiments outside of these boundaries lacks respect for the art of sushi making. Of course, Bancho is not having any of this. He says give him 2 days and he will make Vincent something to knock his socks off. Imagine going to a restaurant and he says bugger off, come back in 2 days. Yup, Bancho ain't a people person. Anyways, he plans to surprise Vincent with a meal made up of sea grapes and white spotted jellyfish. Easy, I think. But Bancho says I need to dive 100 meters down and explore the limestone cave for these ingredients. I then realize something I haven't done yet, which is to upgrade my bar from the bronze level. I do this, and these 2 random people come in for an inspection, I guess. They check the cleanliness. They do a sniff test, followed with a taste test. Not a single word was spoken. Not a single word was spoken indeed, but I am now silver rating and I unlock a few new meals, as well as increasing my staffing capacity, menu slots, how much wasabi I can have, that sort of stuff. I look at the applicants and I take the best cook, which is this hockey mask fella. Not much of a conversation though. Hoo hoo ha ha. Absolutely, mate. I then go ahead and unlock some of these dishes, and I see that I have this white trevally meal, which looks bloody good. I just leveled the bar, so I go ahead and prepare 20 meals. I'm stuck pouring all the teas this night, and Kyoko does all the running, but we are making bank tonight. It was a huge day, and my expenses are still quite low, so we're doing very well. Who's not doing too well, and are low in respect to the water levels, are these random sea people. They seem to be having an argument, but they are interrupted when a big kraken boy snags one of them. Oh dear me. It's the morning of day 8 and I'm completely unaware of such happenings to sea people. The Baconator returns. He has studied the bracelet and he suggests that I wear it. Don't know what it does yet, but sure, why not? Once I touch it, it shimmers with power, kind of like I just attuned to it, which is what happens in Dungeons and Dragons. So now that I'm attuned to it, I can see that this thing will protect me for a short while after I run out of oxygen. Literally a lifesaver. It might come in handy, because Bacon wants me to dive even deeper, but I'll need a headlamp for the dark depths going forward. Duff might be able to help with this, but I catch him in a really foul mood. He's ordered some anime figurine, and it hasn't arrived. Might be to do with those missing delivery ships. Now of course, Duff has the headlamp I'm looking for, but also more obviously, he's gonna ask me to find his Leah-chan doll or something. Yep, there it is. I can't miss it, he says. It should be in a pink delivery box. Appropriate, I guess. Before diving, I go ahead and hire Carolina, as she has some good serving skills. Customers have been flooding in lately. Are they fascinated by my beauty? Love, it's your first day. Well, her confidence is appreciated. I send out another internet ad as I wanted new applicants. These two are not what I'm looking for, and neither is this bigger air tank, but why not? I also go ahead and get a waterproof box as well from Cobra's shop thing. This box won't help me when I see poachers accosting these dolphins again. This is like a third time, right? A 3v1? Oh yeah, I like these odds. They have guns and I have a harpoon. Ever been shot with a harpoon before, you scallywag? How does it feel? Yep, these guys are hopeless, but they vow to return. A more dolphin affection follows, and a rusty dolphin charm is given to me. I'll attune to it later. For now, I dive down 75 meters, and I start coming across these jellyfish I'm looking for, as well as the sea grapes for Old Maid's meal. In fact, I spend quite a lot of time getting all these jellyfish and these sea grapes. Back at the surface, that dolphin bracelet is used to increase my dash speed by 30%. It's quite nice. It's my afternoon dive, and I come across a familiar looking sunken vessel. I recognize this, but Dave doesn't, of course. And there's the pink box as well. Of course, the perpetrator of the sunken vessel, the giant kraken, suddenly appears, just for the pink box, and disappears down below. I can't follow. Not without a gas cutter. Luckily, Duff has one of these tools, and he'll provide it to me the next time I resurface. What a friend. This tiger shark also tries to become my friend. My god, this thing is huge compared to me. However, I subdue this mighty beast, and Duff is true to his word. He hands me the gas cutter, which I'll use the next time I'm down there. For tonight, I spend my time filling drinks, and I let the gals do most of the running, while Hockey Mask and Bacho do all the cooking. It was a really good night. I also make sure to clear the tables when I need to, but I'm also supposed to be the wasabi man. I missed this task and several people left before I could get on top of it. I was quite disappointed in myself, even though it was still our best day. It's day 9, and Vincent will be visiting tonight. I am prepared though. In fact, I spend quite a bit of time investigating the dishes and such at the bar, because I want to pinpoint specific meals I want to make for their profit. This striped red mother tangle roll is one, and this white trevally kombu or kazuki is another. Probably butchering those names, I'm sure, but for future runs, I will be calling this meal prep hunting as I focus down the particular fish I need, as well as kelp that goes with these, for example. Now, I didn't show you this yesterday, but I got another waterproof box from Cobra. I can deploy it here and I can store 10 kilograms worth of stuff in it, and I guess it floats to the surface at some point. So yeah, I'm just gathering ingredients, but I've forgotten something. I was supposed to go get the Leah-chan thing, but I think I can wait. I think Orme can be patient. He's an absolute simp. Not overly fussed about bringing him his toy. And nope, my mind is on tonight's cooking event. Bancho declares he's making him jellyfish sushi, which Vinny brushes off. This apparently brings out the beast in Bancho as he prepares this highly anticipated meal. Wow, would you look at that? Old mate thinks it's amazing. He can taste the sea. But why does Bancho use such unknown ingredients? Well, for taste, but also for potential. There are so many ingredients out there, and ignoring the vastness of the ocean means that you are simply ignoring the infinite possibilities. So, verdict is 80 points, which is kind of low. Excellent sushi, but we are missing something. A beer would have bumped this meal right up. So, Vinny Boy gives us a refrigerator so that we can stock beer. What a lad! Plus he gives us 1,000 gold, and he must have 50 random private accounts on Cookster because he also gave us 50 likes. No matter, this qualifies me right away for another Cookster rank. The gloves go on. Checking the heart rate of a fish. Checking for a ghost apparently. And finally, the taste test. Passed, hell yeah. Gold star ranking, and a few new meals are opening up to me. New employees, Raptor. Looks awesome with serving, is a dinosaur, maybe. Expensive though. Hired. Also, Tohoku has beast cooking skills. Hired mate. More expensive than Raptor, actually. Mr. Dinosaur replaces Kyoko, and Tohoku joins James. His name is James. Oh right, a reference to Jason and Freddy, I think. Also, One Punch Man. This game is literally swimming in cultural references. It's good stuff. I got that recipe for the jelly thing we just gave Vinny, but I'm a little bit disappointed that it only feeds one human. I glossed over a lot of these single dishes this playthrough and focused more on the multi-serving meals. I give Raptor some training. His stats will get a nice boost. In fact, if he goes up to level 3, his perk opens up, which is wasabi refilling, thank god. Even though tea pouring is literally my only task, Dave is so slow I almost missed these green teas, which is completely disgraceful. Apologies, I also pour beer now. Not too much froth now. It was a good night. I need to add more meals to the menu. We had several people get the noramaki tonight. No matter, again, it was a solid night. In the morning, I'm playing around in the staffing area, and I discover a dispatch mechanic. I don't remember this being a thing when I played the game over a year ago. I dispatched Kyoko to get me some soy sauce, and I really liked this idea. The last time I remembered sauces and that sort of stuff were only obtainable in the underwater chests, or cooking pots, so this new feature really makes sense to me. Now the next thing here. Am I going to hire any of these other people? This guy looks like he's utterly useless. What the hell? Is he a handsome boy, is he? Oh god, bully mate. Look, I care about if the person can do the job. Realistically, Billy is... Yeah, actually, Billy, you're hired, mate. Yep, you're hired. Mitchell, you can bugger off, mate. Poor Mitchell. Anyhow, I trained some of these new people up a bit to get them ready for tonight. That is their story. For today, I go back to that sunken vessel. I use the gas cutter to cut my way through this wreckage. Duff is demanding as always, and the game gives me a prompt. Dangerous creatures presence. Alright, sounds inviting. I travel down into a little cave section, and I glue my eyes on the biggest squid I've ever seen. Mr. Anime only has eyes for his little figurine thing. He's not in danger, of course, and demands I sneak up and bring him back his toy. Does this look like I'm sneaking? Well, that didn't work. Excuse me. Do you mind if I quickly fetch that? No. Okay. Yeah, looks like he does mind. Enter my first boss fight. First goal, swim back towards the bastard while dodging his tentacles that shoot out from under the ground. With some minor injuries, of course. I propel myself towards his eyeball and I shoot him right there, angering him of course, and he blows me all the way back to the beginning. This is my second shot to his eyeball, and this is his second big hit on me. Goodness me, Dave is a bloody unit, mate. It took 4 shots to the eyeball to finally subdue this monstrosity. I just had to shoot him in the eyeball a couple of times. Oh, excuse me. Yes, Dave, they were sea people, but a certain blimp is waiting for his action figure. I go retrieve this thing, but I also cut up a bit of this giant tentacle. Maybe Bancho can make a little tasty something with this. I risked my life for this. Oh, what the hell is that? Well, Duff seems enamored. A promise is a promise. He gives me the deep sea headlamp. And again, everyone seems to carry condiments in their pockets in this game. I decide to call Bancho about this enormous tentacle I procured. Bancho! What is it, Dave? I was helping Delph and I defeated a giant squid. That's incredible. He suggests that maybe we close up shop this night and try this tentacle as a bit of a get-together shindig. We do exactly that. We have a toast. I speak a little bit to every person here tonight. A Dr. Bacon, of course, who's really excited about seeing sea people and that we may find them deeper down now that I have the deep sea headlamp. This game definitely has good feelings to it, and it's definitely not a... That looks like a bazooka rocket launcher thing. I was just gonna say, this game definitely has good vibes to it, and then All Mate cocks his gun. God damn it. Well, All Mate cocked his gun, and Bacon is looking a little bit green this morning. A quick request from him to go down deeper, obviously, followed with a big vomit. Oh, jeez. Oh wow, he's asking me to enter the water after that. Ah, look, there's plenty of spaces to dive into Chapter 2, Into the Deep. I'll be getting Duffman to craft me a sniper rifle to take with me down there. Yeah, that's not a sniper rifle. Oh, the developers had a great time with these cutscenes. I bet they did. I made a gun just in time because I get accosted by someone in the shallows. It's John Watson. He accuses me of harming the ocean and that I vomited into the water. Wait, that wasn't me? Alright mate, let's do it. He doesn't care. He fires a grenade at me. A fish die. He blames me, of course. I retaliate and I start firing back. The range on the sniper rifle is very helpful, though again it only has 3 bullets. I finish him off with another gun that I find. He's upset, of course, blows another hole in the ocean in which he escapes. And no matter, I have a new signal to follow downward, 183 meters down actually. And at this depth, I have reached what is called the blue hole depths. Wow. My headlight automatically comes on. It is dark down here and new fish species are present, which I start catching right away. That little brem took several harpoon shots, so I need to upgrade my gear for this new area. I encounter stealth attacking fish. This fella keeps himself hidden on the floor bed and lunges at me when I get too close. I find a UV light, which I use to scare these tube worms. It's very convenient for me to find something like that down here, isn't it? It works like a charm, and in this tunnel, I see the same sea people as I did before. Old Mate notices me. He starts frantically yelling, and I do see a sick or unconscious one behind him. I can't understand him, obviously. A Bacon who's watching this somehow is excited and understands my language barrier. He may have an idea for me. Bacon suspected that there was an ancient civilization, but living sea people, that is something he didn't expect. He needs one of their tablets, a microphone, and an amethyst to make this translator. Righto. Bloody hell, I am popular. Some bloke called Udo is calling me right now. He's a reporter for the magazine weekly fish, so not a diver, and he's asking me to help photograph some unique fish in the blue hole, for payment of course, which I agree to when he has a fish on his radar. I then slap a fish with an electric prodder, get farted on by a mischievous little red squid who got away from me on this occasion, but not before dropping an artifact of sorts. I'm taking it easy, and I finally see these red mothered fellas for one of my meals. They only show up sometimes, I find. I attune to that artifact from the squid, and it allows me to do short dashes, one of my favorites. The gals came back within a day, and with them, they have 3 soy sauces, absolute bargain. Tonight, there's a noisy customer at the bar, but all it takes is a little conversation to settle him down. His name is Otto. He used to be a diver, before he took a harpoon to the knee. He starts to ramble about the good old days, and he wishes for a recipe he hasn't had in ages, the moray eel curry. I have seen those slippery fellas before, but they are nocturnal. If I want to sate this guy's nostalgia, I need to do a night dive. That is for later. For now, 30 meals are prepared for the evening. It was a good night. Still, I am the only tea pourer, and I can't keep up. But it was a good day for profit regardless. I have an email on the morning of day 12. A jellyfish enthusiast group are coming to the blue hole. Cobra says, on that day I should prepare jellyfish meals to make the most of the occasion and this group of jelly lovers. I want more staff members, and I decide to just grab everyone who showed up from my recent internet ad. Itsuki there looks like she's terrible, which has got to be a catch, right? But regardless, 700 was spent on new staff members today. I spent a bit more on Itsuki for training, and it turns out she can serve drinks, which is right up my alley. But for now, I'm sending her and others on procurement tasks. I really like this function. This is that short dash artifact in action, by the way. It doesn't use up stamina, whereas constantly dashing will eat up my O2 quicker. I grab a few jellies for that party, grab a random tablet from the sea people that has magically fabricated back at the record chamber. I missed this from day 11, but looks like I got a microphone when I visited that sunken vessel where I fought that big boy squid. The amethyst I see there, and here is a pickaxe. My little dagger just can't harvest this mineral node, so I do need to find a pickaxe before I can get it. That's the resource Bacon needed to make the translator, by the way, but he will also need some time to make this thing, which is fine. On my next dive, I see a big old whale, a humpback whale to be precise. She is huge, and this is some huge damage to me again. I decide to do a nighttime dive. They shorten the evening window by 1/3, but there are new things down here, aggressive things. This is an aggressive jellyfish. These are aggressive small boys who like to swarm me, and this is an aggressive shark. You get the idea. Everything is mad at me, especially this moray eel who I shoot in the face and eventually reel in. I also have a lovely dance-off with these handsome fish. I finally realized tonight, after a few embarrassing moments, that although we have servers, I have to be the one who gives Allmate Harpoon his meal. I'm pouring drinks and I scramble to do so. Apparently I have to serve it to him. Otto was literally moved to tears with his favorite childhood meal, so he wants to show me something in the morning to show his gratitude. But Bacon gets to me first though. He has the Sea People translator, and it works both ways. What a smart cookie. That is some good news. A call from Duff. He's offering to help me enhance my guns, which I'll have to check out. And finally, the expected call from Otto. He's invited me to come check out the fish farm that's near the bar. A long story short here, any fish I catch, some of the roe can be sent here to breed and multiply so that I can have a steady supply of fish all the time, which sounds pretty good to me. He's already added a few fish into the shallow section for me. To be blunt, I didn't use this feature much, not until the very end when I realized how bloody powerful and useful it can actually be. Right now, I make a pit stop to Bancho's. Yesterday, although footage is lost to me, I found cat food in a tin in one of my dives. I'm given the option to feed Momo here, which I do, and he's very grateful. In fact, Bancho made a post about Momo. Here's my reaction. No words were required. Actually, a word from me here. Some high quality cat food just sitting at the bottom of the ocean. Well, not the bottom, but 40-ish meters down. A further 140 meters down, and I meet up with these two again. Let's have a chat. You wanna have a chat, mate? Can you hear me? What? How is a human speaking our language? An interesting creature. His body looks different from that of humans we occasionally see. Well, in any case, right, I should introduce myself. My name is Suwam. I have a different name for this fella, ladies and gentlemen, but I will reveal that name in due time. For now, the name Dave apparently means broken toilet lid in their language. Beautiful, mate. But down to business. The other unconscious one there is the Sea People's chief's daughter called Ramo. She has been out cold since she was abducted by the giant squid, so days by this point. Of course, if he was there, he would have taught that squid a thing or two. I wonder if the inspiration for this guy is, it's One Piece, Usopp. This guy is without a shadow of a doubt in my mind, Usopp. Anyways, Usopp the Brave, or liar, he needs some medicine for Ramo. The ingredients I need will be feather and lily coral. I start navigating the blue hole depths. And for the record, this particular area is my least favorite in the game. A dark maze with multiple tunnels. I got lost a few times in my playthrough, to be honest. However, today I did find the feather and lily corals within this maze of tunnels. Now, as I was searching, I spotted a giant oarfish and a photo opportunity arose for Udo. I recently played 100% of Dredge, so I recognized this fella. I was prompted to photograph it with some plankton, which I did, and I ticked off all the optional goals for this opportunity. Udo is over the moon with this photo. He pays me 150 gold, plus 50 extra as a bonus for getting the plankton in the shot. I then bring these corals to Bancho and inform them that we need some medicine for a sick sea person with these ingredients. He then proceeds to make medicine. Oh, the animators had a fantastic time making these cutscenes. Here's another one after asking Duff for an upgraded weapon. Oh my god. Okay. On my afternoon dive, I found Pinky again and decided to take a photo. Maybe if she's in a magazine, poachers would be less inclined to hunt a well-known specimen. Also, with this level 2 sniper, I do 47 damage per hit now, but I'm not happy with it yet. I say that, but this is 2 big boy fishes. Clearly I'm the victim here, so this conclusion feels well earned. Oh, that's amazing. I'm the king of the castle. That's amazing. I get another 200 gold for Pinky's photo, which is a nice bonus, I think. And this is an insane amount of condiments. I love the dispatch system. I then get a young female customer at the bar. She is quite rude and slightly disturbed. She seems to communicate through a sock puppet. I can ascertain that she wants a meal made from white trevally. I think I can do that. I then saw that I have new employee candidates. I hire Yone at this time. She costs a pretty penny. I then spend further pennies on Itsuki's training, mainly for her drink serving, and I then give this sock puppet girl her meal. I guess it's safe to say from this reaction that she's enjoying her meal. She warms up to me. Her name is Maki, and she's looking for her father. He was lost at sea a little while ago. The plushie she speaks through is a Cleone, and it is the only thing she has left to remember him by, as he gifted it to her. She asks me to catch some Cleones, as she's never seen one before. Yeah, sure, I can do that. She gives me a bug net for this endeavor. But right now, the night went fine. I'm glad I have Itsuki also pouring drinks. It is a lifesaver. I had no sound for me on day 14, but I saw that I hired Raul. There was another photo opportunity of a turtle munching on a jellyfish, which I did. I caught several Cleone with this net, but there's an ominous giant Cleone in the background that constantly gave me the chills. In fact, after I caught the last Cleone I needed for Maki, this oversized one came out of nowhere and snatched me. The hunter had become the hunted. I had to fight for my life against the Cleone Queen. I shot her in the face, of course, and she munched on my bum as a response. I set up a motion sensor bomb to be clever, only to have this plan thwarted when she spat poison all around the bomb, but I managed to lure her into the explosive eventually. Nevertheless, she was holding on strong, and I finally finished her off with a harpoon of all things. I gathered a Cleone Queen tentacle from this carcass, and then I spotted a photograph of Maki, which is really strange. I'm back at the bar, and a Cleone for her, as she requested. I show her this photograph I found in the Cleone Queen's lair. There's a button on the back. It's a video recording of Maki's dad, his last one. He apologizes that he can't be there for her. His last expedition has failed, but he does encourage her to follow her dreams to become a chef. Maki straight away asks Dave for a job, and Bancho is just like, "You start today." Hey, it's fine with me. Later, my afternoon dive was easygoing, and I did a nighttime dive as well. I don't know my reasoning, I had no audio for myself, so I'm just gonna go with it. But regardless, nighttime fishing I will have to do at least a few times to catch all the nighttime fishing for the Marinka app. Like this spare squid, I unlocked the Cleone Queen soup. Bosses always have one ingredient which I can make into 10 high-priced meals. It is quite lucrative. It's the next morning, and I get a notification that the jellyfish party is tonight. I feed Momo some breakfast, and I had made another rifle, but instead of making it level 2, I turn it into a flame sniper rifle. I'm gonna pause for a second here, but you can see each shot does an additional 60% fire damage, which would almost add up to 5 bullets total worth of damage instead of the current 3. I discover I could make it a level higher if I had the right materials. I'm gonna investigate this later. For now, I shoot the shark, and I do 37 base damage, but an added 22 fire damage, which makes it 59 total. My regular level 2 rifle did 47, so yes, this is an improvement. I proceed to slap this jellyfish with a baseball bat. I catch this air little seahorse with the same net I caught the Cleones with, and I finally make my way down to Usopp and Ramo with this medicine I promised like 2 days ago. Reason number 1, Usopp is Usopp and not Suwam. He takes credit for something he hasn't done. Apparently he prepared this porridge for her. Look at that smug animal. Luckily, after hearing that I may have been the one to save her, she demands that I take her back to her village, and Usopp can be the forward scout. So now, regrettably, I start to lug this deadweight on my back. Poor Dave. Oh, this is disgraceful. Why am I helping a fish swim? Good question. Also, it's nice that her light shininess, sure, we're gonna go with that, it clears those tube worms for me. However, another earthquake interrupts our mostly peaceful voyage. Ramo says it's rare to experience them so strong, and she is worried about the safety of the village. We're 226 meters down, and my equipment is starting to show strain. Luckily for me, this path is blocked by a rock right now. There's a stake above this blockage, wedging together another pile of rocks. Perhaps we can pull it out and clear the path with those pile of rocks falling on top, but I can't do it with my current gloves. Luckily, the Baconator has been eavesdropping this entire conversation with a planted microphone. That's how he does it, and he says that he can help me. I need to go back up. So yes, for the time being, these two are staying right here. Yeah, she'll be alright, mate. As for me, I reckon I need to upgrade my gear as well. Just below where we traveled, I can use this escape pod, and that's too far down. My equipment can't handle it. Even Bacon agrees. Take the day off. Meet up with him tomorrow. He won't have the gloves till then anyways. Even Old Boy Cobra is echoing what I'm thinking. I do that right away. 1,000 gold for the level 5 suit, and I can dive 375 meters now. Not diving that deep this afternoon, just doing some meal preparation type stuff. I'm back at the bar, and I had sent out another ad. I get this Koch fella because he has high procurement. I then swap Maki into the kitchen because, fun fact, she is the best cook in the game. She's preparing for the jellyfish night. I didn't have any good jellyfish meals, so I just did a bunch of random jelly dishes. Nothing special about the party. People come for particular dishes, and they pay a little more for them, I think. But this night was a little underwhelming. A lot less profit, and I'm not a huge fan. However, I wasn't really prepared for it. But for my next dive, I will be prepared. Bacon brings me the desired gloves on the morrow. He gives me a quick tutorial. I can now pick up big rocks and drop them on something. Furthermore, in the event when there is a current, I can hold on to something so I don't get carried away. And finally, I can wrestle stakes like this to break them free when they're embedded in rocks. Very nice. What's also splendid is upgrading my harpoon. Udo gives me a call and he asks me to take a photo of a manta ray, though they are nocturnal, so a night dive will be in order. For this morning, however, I see that same humpback whale I did a few days ago. Dave thinks it's trying to say something, so he records the calls of the whale so he can play it back to Ellie for some feedback. I'm on my way down to Usopp and Ramo, but I make sure to get my usual catches, as well as facing off with a frill shark for the very first time. In fact, Ramo was worried I had been eaten by one such shark actually. About that. Anyhow, down to business. I yank this stake out. The pile of rocks come crashing down, but no success. It needs another push. Luckily, there's another such pile of rocks with a stake, which I cleanly pluck out. 3, 2, 1, and we have an opening to our destination. Well, I thought it would be their destination. Apparently, Ramu has a request for me, and she wants Dave to tag along. She says there was a reason they came all the way up here, so they do indeed have a request, it seems. Well, we are on our way. But another giant tremor, and then something big moves past us. Of course, Usopp is no longer the scout. The human is. Fine, I'll go check out. I already know where this is going. Yeah, see, I even get a prompt letting me know. So, cue the big rumbles in the deep with whatever that is swimming by, and I then come face to face with an enormous wolf eel. I try to do a runner, naturally, but Old Mate becomes a wolf vacuum and he tries to slurp me up, but I narrowly escape this nasty maul. I see a convenient anchor here? Why? No time for questions, because Wolfie tries to flank me, classic war strategy. However, his attack fails again as he snaps at a now vacant spot. Unfortunately, he does get a nip on my toes on this occasion. And then, this gives me a window, an opportunity to do some damage. His tail looks green, glowy, and vulnerable, so I make sure to get 2 rifle shots off on that obvious weak spot tail of his. When he tries to vacuum me up again, I try to grab this anchor up here. It is so kind that they're here for this confrontation. I mean, it would be great if I could grab it. I can dodge him at least, but this tunnel attack is too big. I don't think I can dodge this one. But luckily, he can't dodge my tail attacks. I get a rifle and a harpoon shot on this occasion. In a short time, I finally grab onto the anchors and use them as intended. And another flash forward, I land the final shot on his tail, and I am victorious in this encounter. With a pitiful roar, the wolf eel has been vanquished. Reason number 2, Usopp is not Suwam, and is in fact Usopp. He makes himself sound brave and mighty, but he is really a coward. Well, the real winner, aka me, claims a bit of wolf tail. Maybe Bancho can make a little something with it. Right now, we have finally made it to the village. I get a glimpse at the area. A lot of underwater waterfalls, beautiful architecture, magnificent statues. I don't get to admire much because I get accosted by 2 guards with their pointy stabby things. Ramu intervenes, saying that she brought me here and she needs to see her father. I was expecting a hulking figure of a fishman, but I see a fellow who cares deeply for his daughter. Wait, there it is, his annoyed face. He even thinks I was a blue manatee. Here's a picture for reference. Ramu wants me to help them find out why there are tremors and why the ice is melting off the divine tree. The sea people have exhausted their knowledge in trying to figure this out, so this is why Ramu reached out to the humans. I'm still in the dark, however. Tenzin, Ramu's father, won't have it. Humans have once hunted them to be put on display. Okay, looks like there's actual history here. While Old Mate is rambling, another earth tremor shakes the area. This is the biggest one to date. Tenzin reluctantly agrees for my assistance, but I must first gain the trust of the sea people, and Ramu accepts these terms. I can start tomorrow, and she sends me home for the day as it has been a very long day. I didn't agree to this. How am I supposed to come all the way back here? Agreed, that poses a problem. Chapter 3, a request from the sea people. And about my transportation problem, Tenzin gives me a mirror that will magically be attuned to me. I can use it on the surface to instantly teleport down here to another mirror in the village. They were once upon a time a very advanced civilization, very convenient for me. One snag though, it only works during the daytime. Okay, good to know. About the nighttime. It was a very long day. I came back too late, no sushi management tonight. But Yoshi pops in for a visit. The conversational topic shifts to Bancho, particularly about the incident Yoshi mentioned when she first entered our bar. Well, I think Yoshi is a little bit thirsty, and I think a bear might get her to divulge a little bit about Bancho's past. The gist is, they both worked at the same fancy restaurant about 12 years ago. A troublesome guest had made a reservation, Lois Crawford, who is a leading actress and a gourmet with a reputation to be quite difficult to please and cater to if she stays at your place of business. She's known to write scathing reviews, and with her influence, those reviews can be devastating to a hotel's reputation. Can you see where this is going? Old boy Bancho by chance is going to be the cook for this very picky eater. We all know Old Mate Bandana's philosophy. He wants to feed this actress a shark head, the same as he did to Yoshi. Well, I'm laughing, but Lois sure isn't. This resulted in a debacle of a night. The hotel most likely got a scathing review, and Bancho left as well, of course, saying that he needed to train, which he did. He's still training to this very day. Yoshi thinks Dave is a good influence on him, and wishes for us to continue working together. Yep, sure thing, love, we can do that. Here's a quick recap, because Bacon asked for one. Also, there's going to be another party, but this time a tuna one. They are hard to catch, but Cobra has something to help me with those difficult catches. I remembered I needed to call Ellie about that whale call, and after she had a listen, she says it sounds like it's looking for her offspring. I should keep my ears open for a baby whale, I guess. For now, I'm about to use that mirror to teleport down, when I see that I have the option to teleport to the record chamber, which is about halfway down, which is actually pretty huge. I don't recall that being an option about a year ago. Anyways, I'm at the village and I need to start making some friends. I peruse my map and I see a few quest markers. I greet the first one. Knock knock. This looks like Otto. Hey buddy. It sounds just like him. Huh? Are you that human? Are you that human? Human, not human. Aha, you look interesting. You don't even have fins. He reminds me of someone. Mate, yes, he does remind you of someone. Fish Otto wants me to place some flowers at King Long's statue, and I do that about 5 seconds later. I then visit Mima's restaurant. She wants me to deliver some lunches to these two fine-looking fishmen, who are naturally hesitant, of course. For that flower delivery, I got 15 credit, which is the reputation, I guess, and 10 bay, which is the sea people's currency. I got the exact same amount for that lunch delivery for Mima. A little later, I see a blacksmith, who only says, human. And I go to the game parlor afterwards. They have seahorse races here, but I need to catch myself one first, as well as all the current seahorses of the establishment, because those earth tremors have set them all free. I'm not gonna show all of them, but I went ahead and rounded them all up, and Lynch in here is very happy I did. In fact, I'm gifted a seahorse so I can partake in the races. I do exactly that, and I have an absolute stinker. These guys gave me the weakest link, I'm sure. I play a game of don't get your finger snapped by the shark. I didn't understand it at first, but the second round Old Mate's finger got crunched, not mine. So, I've done all the requests this morning in the village. I decide to move towards the surface today from deep down below. I take on a mega mouth shark for the first time, and I take a photo of these two opals at the same time. Glorious photography here. I then gather my first opal shortly afterwards as well, and for the afternoon, Cobra has steel net sensor traps for me to help catch tuna. This is how they work. I place the trap, preferably in a spot where multiple tuna would get caught in the net. On this occasion, one got caught. A new toy, salvage drone. I request for this thing and it comes and picks up a big fish that I want to send to the boat without encumbering myself. I see the new mirror that has appeared in the record chamber and I'm so happy there's one here. It's very useful. Mima needs tube corals. Alright then. I then register my own winning kind of seahorse and I absolutely dominate the race. I had played a card game to get this girl's beluga whale taxi whistle back, but she had lost all of her money, and as the whale requires money, she gave the whistle to me. I don't use it yet. Tonight, Land Otto is at the bar getting absolutely sloshed. Why? Well, because it becomes relevant to the plot in a short while. It might have something to do with Michael Bang's visit. Of course, All-Mate needs inspiration for his next film in the form of a good meal. Bancho is the man for this job. However, he wants decent rice with his dinner, and the rice in this region isn't that great, unfortunately. Enter stage Land Otto. He has been eavesdropping, and he has something up his sleeve. Afterwards, I slapped the wolf eel on the menu tonight, and not much else, as I wanted all 10 of them to sell. They are high sellers. And as expected, everything sold, and the profit was quite nice. In the morning of day 18, Land Otto gives me an expected call. He has spent all night making a rice farm for us. What a mad lad. He can help me grow rice, but I just have to handle the weeds and such, which is a hell of a deal. I like this game. It's quite expansive. It gives you new things to do to make your place better and all that sort of stuff, so yeah, it's good stuff. It's very good stuff. I'm back at the Sea People village, and I meet Nyamo, who is the priestess of this shrine, I think. There's to be a wedding soon, but she wants a stone slate for the occasion. There's a spare up in the record room. The earthquakes have destroyed the ones down here. Yeah, sure, I can play fetch for her, as well as for these kids. A megamouth shark swallowed their ball that they were playing with outside. The blacksmith doer has something more to say, which is cough cough. I offered to provide him some coral porridge for that cough, but he is very distrustful of filthy humans. Regardless of his mistrust, I'll get the ingredients anyways. Lin Chen's purple squid thing has gone missing, and I need to help her find him. My god, there is a lot to do today. Because I have a lot to do, I whale whistle this beluga and hitch a ride. This does save a bit of time for me. It's well worth it. Time spent getting that megamouth, finding that purple squid, and luring him out with food so that I can catch him in a net. I collect some corals for the blacksmith. I find a grenade launcher. On that note, actually, I need to find and unlock all the weapon blueprints for an achievement, by the way. I make sure to shoot a jelly with this one, and I then dodge a tiger shark. And finally, I make my way to the record room to find that stone slab thing for the priestess, who then holds a lovely wedding for these two wonderful sea people. Please cue another earthquake that ruins the moment. If that is not a bad omen on your wedding day, I don't know what is. Nyamo begs me to fix the arm of the statue. I'm gonna have to see what I can do. For now, I handed all the other quests in I could do at this point. My reputation is going up quite nicely. Bancho is slapping some porridge around again, and I managed to snag 2 tuna on this occasion, while one fin backhands me in response. I bring Mima those corals that she wanted, and I gauze King Long's arm back where it belongs, and it looks perfectly undamaged now. The kids have now lost a friend who may have gone to an underwater lake area. Apparently there is a frightening monster there, so I am gonna have to investigate. Dua takes this porridge, but is still a little bit distant to me. I'm gonna have to give him some time. And finally, Fish Otto wants to read a book. There are mutant sea people in the basement, and as king, I can't just stand by. I Must Do Something, Volume 2. That is quite literally the title of this book. Somewhere else, I hear the baby whale cries. They are coming from behind this rock pile. It's in this cave and it seems frightened. I go ahead and give it some vigorous petting to help calm it down. Vigorous petting, vigorous petting, vigorous petting. You gotta make sure he feels it. All the way back to the back. There you go. There you go. I'm just thinking Nelson. Oh, there's more petting. I wasn't ready. More petting. More petting. Oh yeah, all the way to the tail. I was referencing Nelson from The Simpsons there, by the way. It turns into an escort mission. I must protect this little fella from predatory fish, like these barracuda, and eventually a bunch of sharks. This is looking a little bit bad. What do? You shoot them with your gun. Ooh, that's a knockout, mate. So Mum and Bubs are reunited. This was a busy day. Poor Dave is still running a sushi bar at nighttime. The guy is an absolute unit. However, no rest for Dave. Momo the cat is up to something sneaky. Dave is a jolly looking fella, but I'm encouraged to stealthily follow Momo. I rustle some leaves, step on broken glass, but eventually I find Momo getting cute with another cat and kitten, maybe his girlfriend and offspring. To the point, Bancho's bar now has 3 cats living here. Bancho doesn't seem to mind. Neither do I. I upgrade some of my gear in the morning of day 19 as I have some extra cash. And then back to Mima down below. She's worried about a seaweed collector called Tasuki. He provides for the village, but he hasn't made a delivery in a bit. Dua the blacksmith finally opens up to me a bit. He says he's feeling better. He's wondering if I could gather some minerals for him. He wants opals. Well, buddy. Okay, do I not have opal? Oh yeah, okay, you can have it preemptively, mate. Here is some opal I prepared earlier. It was nothing really, this is correct, I've done it before. Yep, being a loot goblin all the time has its advantages. I already had what he was looking for. What I don't have is divine tree fruits. Not exactly sure what they're all about, but I agree to help him get some. He mentions that without this tree, his people wouldn't be able to survive. Okay, fair enough, a magical tree then. That is some storytime stuff for later. For now, I help him gather 5 fruits, as this is used to smelt minerals apparently. He says he will open the workshop when he recovers. Please make a mental note here, as I did as well. He will open the shop when he recovers. Back to the book I was looking for fish auto. Was it this one that has a beautiful sensuous looking sea woman on the cover? Oh, that is funny. Now I do recall that he wanted something about mutants, which looks like it's this one. Yeah, but really, this is more appropriate. I should bring him this book, a sensuous looking sea woman on the cover. I would have loved to, but I decided to take him the correct book. I really do like this game. It is very unique. It has a little bit of everything, to be honest, like, you know, restaurant management, exploration, fighting, crafting, you know, all that good stuff. Man, I could have got you a thingy book, but I got you this. Yep, Sea Otto is happy with his book. He gives me some seeds as a gift, seaweed seeds that only grow in water, which poses a problem. He directs me to talk to Gumo, who could help me grow these, but he is unwilling to help a human, unless I can give him something good. Oh, don't worry, Banjo can make you something nice made out of seaweed, but it's time to progress the main storyline, and I go and speak to Allboy Tenzin. Backstory: the divine tree. The fruits are used as an energy source by the sea people. The tree roots are far below, using geothermal heat to create energy. Now, because the fruits are created from this energy, there is a giant glacier under this tree, right under the village. Lately, the heat from deep down below has grown hotter, and the ice is slowly melting. As temperatures of the tree increases, more villagers are falling ill. Remember, Dua said that the people needed this tree to survive. To that end, we need to investigate the glacier below the village, aka me, because they have relied mainly on agriculture for a while. Their equipment and technology to explore down there is now limited. He admits that this is embarrassing for them, which I agree with. But Dave says that we are experiencing tremors on the surface as well, so we surface dwellers are also affected, so why not work together? Usopp interjects, saying that the key to the glacial passage is in an abandoned cave. I guess I'm going there first. But before I do, Mima wanted me to visit some dude who collects seaweed, right? Inside, I see said collector who's currently freaking out as the pet turtle is out of control for some reason. Logically, Dave tries to wrestle this turtle Donna. She escaped, slammed her throat on the ground, and gags up a plastic bag. All Mate has a quick go about humans throwing such things in the water. Fair enough. Everything is good now. I'll be on my way, and he can get back to his deliveries. I followed some signs, which led me to a rock pile. Apparently this is the underwater lake, according to those signs. I wasn't aware Dave can read the language. I follow a treacherous passageway, which leads me to a breathtaking underwater lake area. I take a magnificent photo, which is easy on the eyes, and then set those same eyes on a hideous goblin shark tormenting a sea person child. See what I mean? Pleasant to the eyes he is. I really like the sniper rifle. It does help with landing shots on big boy baddies such as this fella, especially with the added fire damage. I lure him into a mine, which allows me to detonate some explosive damage on him, and one more explosion later, the goblin shark is flailing about in defeat. I gather the spoils of war, fatty goblin shark meat, and I'll escort the child home now, where she is reunited with the rest of the kids, safe and sound. I see a notice board at the village for collecting random bits and pieces. I have a few of these, and I will use this to do the odd fetch quest here and there for the bay currency. I find it hard to earn bay at this point. I see yellow tuna in the afternoon. I have no traps, so I painfully land single shots on them until I can finally collect their meat. Sato rocks up this evening and says because of this storm, there will be a vortex thing this night, and that a super rare boss card or a boss fight can be done. I'm gonna pass on this, but I simply can't pass on whatever the hell this is. I bear witness to Duff's dream. Old mate is dreaming that he's at a concert of some sort. He's got glow stick. He's in the crowd just over there, and I have to follow the prompts given by this Guitar Hero type game. For me, I really enjoyed making him do his own thing, which really makes him look like an idiot. Look at him go. In the morning, finally. This is the stuff of dreams. The rice is ready to go. Once harvested, a new batch will grow, and I can come harvest it every couple of days. I'm almost ready to rank up to platinum in my Cookster rating, but I need to level one of my dishes so that the taste is 250. I'm nearly there. Tonight I have Mr. Banks coming and a tuna party, so I want to take it easy and prepare for that. I'm pleasantly surprised that tuna can also appear during the morning dives, so I make the most of this. My baby boy was sick at this time, so silly me forgot to hit record on the afternoon dive, but the only noteworthy thing was that I upgraded my flame rifle to level 2, which is huge, especially now as it has 4 bullets instead of 3. Bloody beauty, mate. I was expecting Michael Bangs, but nope, this fella Sammy saunters into the bar. Apparently he's looking for Otto. Bancho recognizes this fella. He's an artist. He makes rap music. He also wants vegetable sushi. Again, 3 days and we will prepare what he wants. I give Otto a call and he says give him the night and he will figure something out regarding how to get these vegetables. Poor Otto doesn't actually work for us, but he's working throughout the night every single other day pretty much. Yep, the man's a legend. We have prepared Michael Banks' meal. Here's his response. Here you are, mate. More explosions, I'm sure. Of course. Yep, Old Mate is truly inspired to put even more explosions in his films. Now this blew my mind. The tropical fish sushi set, which we just fed to Mr. Explosions, Titan triggerfish, Harlequin Hind, and coral trout with some rice. I see these fish often, and the rice should start to flow as well. It sells for $375 at the base price, and it makes 6 meals. I have in fact found my favorite meal to sell in this game, though I think it's the go-to for most players, but I was not aware. I am aware that tonight is all about the tuna, so I make sure to have that on the menu. This party proved to be much better than the last. I break my profit record, and the night was an absolute hit. Poor Otto again has been up all night, but he has prepared the space on the right to become my farming area. I can now grow all sorts of vegetables here. He's already provided me with some carrots and eggplant seeds, as they are the ingredients for vegetable sushi. What I have to do is just water my crops every day, pluck weeds, and look after the soil. I've played my fair share of farming games. Back at the bar, I upgrade this sawtooth dish to level 9, taking my best taste up, which prompts a visit from these two people. Good evening, people. Would you like to wipe my desks again with your fingers? Hell yeah. Platinum has been achieved. Diamond is the final frontier for our Cookster ranking. 720 extra followers, 375 taste rating, and 32 researched meals. A bit of work to do for this goal. Otto is also going to have work to do. He's going to expand my rice paddy. I double check all the recipes that I like to make and their ingredients. I then upgrade my cargo box. It's level 8 now, and I can carry 125 kilograms. My god, imagine carrying that much when you're swimming, fishing, and fighting monsters. Dave is a unit. It'll mostly be filled with specific fish for my recipes. I did that for the entire day to stock up actually. This is how I greet a frill shark, by the way. Hey buddy, can you come to me? That's it. Got it, mate. Be gone with you, eh? And in the afternoon, I visit Mima. Her few quests I have completed have finally opened up her shop to me. She's going to make me dumplings, all of which have buffs. Check out this cutscene. Now this particular meal improves the damage of my harpoon, and I get round to giving the meal of seaweed I promised Mr. Fish Farmer here. Oh, that's great. It is safe to say he enjoyed the meal, and he will open up the seaweed farm so I can have a bit of space to plant some things. Mr. Blacksmith is simply talking. No developments there. I guess I have to wait more before he opens his shop. But I promised Udo I'd take a photo of a manta ray. I tried this tonight. A whole photography setup has been deployed here, and I take the worst photo you'll ever see, but it's classed as a success. My reward is 1,000 gold. Because he's impressed with my photos, he wants me to capture really rare fish, a new minigame where he will bring me weekly targets and I will need to photograph them one at a time. The first one is the horned humphead parrotfish. It should be near a wrecked boat, but he will provide me with a tracker for convenience. I then comment on Otto's work ethic. Okay, looks like there's not much I can do at the moment. He is expanding this, so that's perfectly fine. Poor Otto, he's just... I'm not exactly too sure what he's doing there, but he's working hard. And I guess that's what matters. Also, poor Momo. Do you need some food? Alright, we'll give this little kitty cat some common food. Poor Momo just doesn't eat anymore. He just watches them eat. Poor thing. Wow. My go-to meal for Mima from now on will be the feather dumpling. It reduces damage taken and increases my movement speed. It's a hell of a good dumpling. I plant some seaweed seeds in Gumo's farm area. It's nice to have a supply of seaweed to work on. I can research the seeds Fish Otto gives me so that the harvests will be bigger, so I do this. And I finally return to the king, and it's time to go get that key in the abandoned cave. Usopp, I mean Suam, will guide me. He even thinks I had fled and calls himself the bravest warrior of the sea people. My god, that is Usopp to the T. I'm being guided to this place by apparently the most bravest sea warrior. That sounds like Usopp, a brave warrior of the sea. My god, did they base this guy off Usopp? I'm absolutely certain they did. Usopp tells me the place has been locked up because there are stories about crazy sea people locked up or something. Reason number 3 why Old Mate is who I say he is. He's a coward who pretends that this is beneath him and that I should do it alone. So I do it alone. It's a very dark place, but I see something unsettling. Oh, Jesus, man. That looks like a zombie sea person, like that book Fish Otto wanted. So I cautiously make my way through this place, trying to stay undetected. I find a mural that depicts a small puzzle. There are blocks here with the same images and vacant blocks. So a few minutes later I have stacked them all correctly. They start to disappear underneath the floor, and something is coming up. It is indeed the glacial passage key, but just then, another earth tremor strikes again. It breaks down some of the structure in this maze. I can't leave the way I came in anymore. I also have to be sneaky, because that may have released some zombies. Indeed, it has released the offending things. I have a very close call 5 seconds later. What are they? Gadon is the name of ancient sea people, or Gaidon, who are mutated for some reason. No guns or knives can kill them. Really? Escape the cave without being spotted. Okay, that's perfectly fine. If this thing wants to bugger off, that would be appreciated. Yeah, I found the to-do list bothered me a little bit in this section. I do prove I'm a sneaky bastard. Oh no. Oh my god, that's terrifying. I also dodge booby traps that have been activated now for some reason. A lot of them. Why the hell are all these active now? However, I'm almost home free. Oh come on, that's just my luck, isn't it? Yep, that's just my luck. Up, 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 up. Go, 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 go. Of course Usopp is gone. But I knew Suwan was not going to wait for me. Anyway, I got the key. Now I must return to... Oh dear. What the hell is this thing? Oh, great. Is that right, mate? Very poor timing, mate. Wait. You're robbing graves now? As if destroying the environment wasn't enough. Mate, how do you know about graves? So of course I get into a scuffle with this imbecile. He has homing missiles, good stuff. I try to be clever and I direct the missile back towards him, but it doesn't work. I do find a baseball bat in this chest, however. Okay, I see how this is gonna go. I see how it goes, but my god, it turned out to be much harder than I thought. This fight went on for quite a while, but I do land a shot. Finally. And several minutes later, I land my final shot. Got him. Goodness gracious me. Oh dear, you're gonna drown? That's your problem. Well, he's fled, so no, that's not the last I'll see of him. However, I see some parts of his broken suit. Maybe Cobra can make me something from this. Reason number 4, Allmate is Usopp. He lies. Apparently, he cleared the entire area. The key was free to be picked up and I took my time apparently. But Tenzin is surprised that I saw Gadons. 800 years ago, the Gadons were at the pinnacle of their civilization, all thanks to the fruit of the divine tree. However, there are always those blinded by greed. Dashi, a senior technician, wanted to apply the powers of the fruits beyond mundane purposes. He tried to use them to modify the anatomy of sea people. It worked. They had exhibited strength far beyond the norm. The technician did even more experiments. He did these on creatures called Yawis, but the bodies of those infused with the fruit started to show weird changes. Pale bodies, twisted limbs. They became violent and attacked other sea people. Fortunately, these monsters hated light. They don't come near the village. This happened 800 years ago, so he's surprised that they're still out there, maybe even in the glacial passage, which is my next destination. Oh, aren't you gonna send Usopp, who has, cleared the area for me like the animal that he is? Nope, but he will be my guide again, but not now. I need to gather some ingredients. I find a marlin for the first time, and I catch him in a sensor net, which is quite satisfying. I also follow my radar and I find that Fishmon. He does a big charge, which hurts me badly, and I manage to dodge him and shoot him from behind, where his helmet thing doesn't protect him. That's Fishmon number 1 caught, and I get caught here, and so does the fish. Oh, what is that? The guy got caught and I got absolutely skewered. Well, you die. Yeah, this fella skewered me despite the fact he ran straight into my trap. I was very offended and also impaled by a bloody sawfish. On the boat, Udo says that the viewers for his magazine will go crazy for this fish. He'll see me when the magazine is published. On another note, all of my vegetables and rice have grown this day, so I have a lovely harvest. I now have what I need for that vegetable sushi, and I make sure to resow my fields. I then harass the wildlife. Hey buddy, how are we? Do you mind if I drop this on your head? Or might? That crab was slain because it was a request from the sea people. I do the quests often for the bay currency. I do this photo for a human by the name of Udo, however, and a small detour is taken tonight with Dr. Bacon. He's following his radar and it's pointing him to this cave that doesn't look natural. Inside are a few murals. Humans and sea people have potentially met in the past. The sea people are giving shiny fruit to the humans. We know this to be the divine tree fruit that are used as a power source by the sea people, which was unfortunately misinterpreted by the humans. They ate them, getting sick from it, and they started collapsing. This stirred up animosity between the two races. Humans started hunting the sea people. It looks like a lot were killed. There looks to be an ancient sea people artifact here, a valuable find. One which is interrupted by the arrival of pirates. A mini-game next. I, Dr. Bacon, must escape these pirates. Who would have thought an archaeologist can have such an eventful night? I dodge their poorly aimed shots. I avoid hitting boulders, and when the time is right, Dr. Bacon pulls a fast one, makes a tight turn, and causes the pirates to crash, giving him the opportunity he needs to escape. Oh, clutch, mate. In the morning, Dave recalls that Usopp needed to take him to the next destination. Enter Chapter 5, The Frozen Passage. It starts with a banger. I have finally found my other desired staff member, El Nino. What a lad. So, Maki and Yone accompany Bancho in the kitchen, the best cooks. The lads, Raptor and El Nino, are the best servers. The skills will complement each other later as well actually. I check up on Dua again, but a shop isn't open to me. I'm mentioning this because I have to sell a bunch of stuff to him for an achievement, and I was curious if he had gotten better. He hasn't. yet. I do see a stingray for the first time, and my response is quite Australian. Ooh, what are you? Oh, you're aggressive. Ow, mate. The scuffle was short, but for those of you who don't know, this is a stingray, and what our most iconic Australian man, Steve Irwin, died to. The stingray was new to me in the game. So was the next fish. They're actually not that great for me. Oh, what are you? Hey, buddy. Yeah. Oh my god. Can you get caught again? No, you cannot. Okay, that's interesting. That's very interesting. You're too powerful for that, are you? Oh, wow. Can I get you now? No, I can't. Oh, he's a big boy, this one. Yep, a hammerhead. Here's a thresher shark that's also new. Now the thing is though, I'm getting a lot more inventory space and I'm now being... Oh, what are you? Ooh, ow, mate! Can you not? That is most definitely a thresher shark. Hey buddy, you gave me quite a shock, didn't you? It seems over time, new species are added, so today I noticed these two new sharks. I also noticed that it was old boy Sammy's meal time. Oh my god. As Sammy is quite literally raving about this meal, Otto makes an appearance. It turns out they recognize each other, father and son. About 8 years ago, Otto went missing. He got shipwrecked on an island. It took years to be rescued, and he ended up here. Somehow. He was planning on coming home after setting up a new life for himself. In fact, Otto invites Sammy to stay with him for the night so they can catch up. Well, off they go. And I see the vegetable sushi is on my menu. I didn't really go for this one. I disliked that it only fed one person. Maybe the servings increased, but if it did, I never found out. We had a really good night, however. The dream team. And I dumped some training on everyone, so we're managing very well. The lads are outpacing me at every opportunity. A wonderful Monday. Udo released the Fishmon photo. I made 1,000 gold, and he will be back on the weekend for the next Fishmon. Otto and Sammy had a good night catching up. In fact, Otto had convinced this famous rapper to stay with him here. Sammy is going to raise chickens for me, and I can collect their eggs. I think he's just taking a bit of a break from actively working on his musical career, but I do appreciate the help. I also asked Otto to further expand the rice paddy for my next harvest, as well as the farming fields. My god, he's going to be a busy boy. Here's an Eco Watcher update for you. I'm doing this in the background, and it's not overly interesting, but just so you know, I am doing this. The Marinka app is also filling up nicely, but I'll touch on this again later when it becomes more relevant. For now, Usopp will guide me through the glacial passage. Well, I thought he would. Apparently he floats right there and it gives me directions. What a prick. Who needs the bravest warrior of the sea? I sure don't. I do make my way in. Dark rooms, and I need to work through them, as well as catching everything I can along the way. I make my way into a room that looks like a puzzle. There are some switches and trapdoors from the looks of it. I activate them, which moves doors. I activate newly opened switches, which move some more doors, and I move on to the next section, where I have to sneak past another gaddy boy who's making hungry noises. In all this excitement, I take a photograph as a memento of my holiday, apparently. There are even more puzzle things where I move the center switch and try to connect the pathways between these circle things. I get accosted by a nasty fella who recoils the moment I smack this divine fruit, revealing to me that these fellas hate light, although the king has already told me that. I do more twirly whirlies. I use another divine fruit to melt this chunk of ice blocking the door, as it is a source of heat in fact. I then tug on this pulley system, which opens a trapdoor above this new room, which connects this room to the first room I entered in the glacial passage. There's a giant mirror here and more ice blocking my path further down. I go to the left and it's another puzzle room with more of the same, though I have a bit of excitement this time round. Damn it. Well, later I had brought another divine fruit tree to this gun-looking thing. It shoots light which follows a path I created, and it hits the mirror in the other room, but it looks like it's missing the ice unfortunately. There's nothing more I can do here. I need to ask Cobra for some equipment to move this mirror. Use a crowbar, he says. Does he have one? Nope. But the delivery ship that sunk a little while ago possibly does. Well, when I checked, it did. I just had to move all these rocks covering it. But I also set free a bunch of mad, happy, giddy crabs? No idea. All I know is that they jump and they pinch my toes when they get the opportunity. I get my chance later and the crowbar is mine. As I came from the bottom up on this occasion, I see the blue hole has a seaweed kind of vibe. I really like it. Now, I should mention this. I just encumbered myself, and not the end of the world, but always be aware that you move slower, obviously. And I run into the fastest thing in the ocean. Oh shit. Oh, this is gonna be bad. I used my scooter thing in desperation, but with the amount I'm carrying, it makes no difference. No, this is bad. This is very bad. I could have just dropped something, but hey, I was a loot goblin refusing to drop anything. Do you know the punishment for dying in this game? I said I was a loot goblin. Not joking. I had 170 kilograms of a lot of small fish. I had a huge amount of fish. I'm devastated because you're allowed to take one thing with you. One. The penalty for death in Dave the Diver is such a slap in the face, but it was my own fault. I take some marlin meat because I do have that marlin party coming up. Back at Bancho's, I have a visitor. I haven't seen this one, not even in my first playthrough. She says her name is Miximtoon? MXM I can only assume a YouTuber, maybe. Well, a songwriter. She has a new album coming out soon. She's a bit nervous and she wants her favorite dish to soothe her nerves. She wants shirashi sushi, but she wants it made with a greasy urchin. She offers to go diving for the urchin herself as it's hard to come by. I will help her of course, and when I'm free, I will give her a call to accompany me. Right after that, Vinny Boy rocks up with his shadow and this other jolly looking fellow, Wang Pang. A competition. Cooking competition, Bancho versus Wang Pang. The theme for this contest is going to be Chinese cuisine, obviously favoring the competitor I think. Well, we have 2 days to prepare something. Bancho wants a stargazer, wheat, olive oil and eggs. This night, something else again which is new to me. Allmate from the game parlor is out foraging, I guess. He sees a book that has a dark aura surrounding it. It's clearly something you don't pick up, but the fool does exactly that. Day 25 of what was supposed to be Dave's holiday. Cobra is behind me saying maybe it's time to upgrade my equipment. Last time he said this, it was indeed time, but I'm a little absent-minded. I was distracted, but I knew I needed some wheat for this recipe Bancho would need, so I planted that and other veggies in the garden this day. Back at the boat, I upgrade some gear, the harpoon gun, which is now its maximum level by the way. At the village, I observe the inhabitants are enamored by what looks like a card game. Eunuch, the fellow who found it, says it's Jimbo's game. I get pulled into a quick tutorial. I'm not going to go into it because this is the only time I touch on it, so why am I mentioning it at all? This is a crossover. So was the MXM person, and one more which I'll see later. I didn't know this at the time, but if I'm going to talk about one, I will mention them all. Fair is fair. The card game is a crossover with Balatro. I can't go further because I never explored this one, unfortunately. But back to the glacial passage. I shove this crowbar where it needs to go, dislodge a rock, and the mirror slowly tilts towards the ice, melting it and clearing my path. As I go down, I'm distracted by my diving depth. I've reached my maximum, and I get assailed by a bloody pelican eel. I take a photo down here, but I have to wipe the frost off the lens before I can. But yeah, I can't go further with my current diving suit. Cobra hinted at this before, so a day of gathering followed. I won't make the same mistake twice. I'm nearly encumbered, a thresher shark, which takes a few shots from afar, and I have avenged my past self. It's the Marlin party tonight, so I make sure to slap a few of those dishes on the menu. Turns out it was another best night for me. With an influx of cash, I upgrade my diving suit, which is now its maximum level. Sammy's also got a few new things, egg storage and a chicken feeder. I know I said I have an influx of cash, but these prices are a bit rough for me at the moment. I spend that cash to train the girls for now, unlocking their talents. Yone now has a chance to prepare extra servings with meals, and Maki is just a beast at cooking. I'm down in the next section of the glacial passage, a light reflecting puzzle this time. I rejig the mirrors around until I melt my way through, another section with more of the same, until I finally reach a very dark room. There's a divine fruit, I simply slap it for a burst of light, followed with terror. Oh, Jesus. Yup, that's a giant Gadon. Terrifying. I ride this current that has opened up for me to escape this monstrosity. I think I'm home safe. He was chained. Oh wait, nope. Forget that, he's on my heels. A mini game. Escape the giant Gadon. I need to dodge chunks of ice. Dodge his lunges. If he gets me, it's all over. Like in this instance. I didn't go down. I went up, and I got gobbled up. Jump? No. The chase continues. I get assailed by falling chunks of ice. I miss this cue. I really hate this little mechanic of getting the curse to match up, and it's something I really struggle to understand. In fact, it took several attempts before I finally got it right. It's a dead end. Probably my final moment. Psych! Old mate headbutts the wall. A way opens downwards and the game continues down. But old boy Krusty is relentless. I was clutching my butt cheeks this entire time. But another knockout is soon dished out to Mr. Moldy there. The final stretch, I hope. I am getting nervous. I make mistakes and I make passionate love to ice as I'm flailing about. I press Q. I press E, and I'm home free. I need to trap him in there. I rip this giant nail from above to collapse the entrance. Reason number... what number is this? Anyways, another reason Usopp is Usopp. When the time desperately calls for it, he is there to make the crucial action that saves me from certain demise. And of course, he looks like God the Usopp with a glowing halo. Fine, he can rub it in on this occasion, because this time, he was there when I desperately needed him. But this depth is getting really cold. My current diving suit needs some warmth if I'm to proceed. We at least pull the levers in this room to open the glacial passage properly, so when I have the equipment I can finally proceed. Tenzin helps me with my warmth problem. He provides me with some fabrics that could be tailored to my needs. Of course, it's another rainy night. This fella really wants me to go into the vortex and fight a boss, but again, I have plans. Well, Bancho has plans anyways. It's this cooking competition, another minigame where I take control of Bancho. I chop some carrots, I chop up some onions, as well as a stargazer, but I make sure to cut some nice fillets from this once nasty fish that bit my toes a few times, I'm sure. I coat the fish with some starch, and then I make sure to fry everything to perfection. I have to be honest, Mr. Wang Pang's meal looks much more appealing than Bancho's, but again, appeal isn't Bancho's thing, is it? No, he focuses on taste, and the winner is Bancho, of course. The final verdict, I won with 99 versus 96 from Old Mate. Poor effort really. Vincent again states that Bancho's meal gave him a taste he's never had before. It was a good night. Enter Chapter 6, Melting Glacier. I pass these garments provided to me from Tenzin to Bacon, who says that they are warm to the touch. Perhaps he can make a suit out of it for me. Funny enough, that scrap I grabbed from Watson's suit way back when will help him put this all together. However, it's damaged, of course. Cobra has an idea, which he will share with me soon enough. On another note, in about 3 days' time, we have a shark party coming up. So, all of day 27 was uneventful. This night, Cobra suggests I retrieve the mechanical part I need from the Sea Blue base. That is for the middle of the night. For the evening, we have these people rock up again. Even Dave's annoyed that these guys just pop out of nowhere. The theme this time, Fry the Sea. Alex does some fancy stuff. Why don't you do that, mate? I'll come over there and backhand you. Get out of here. Anyways, Bancho gives me a list of things he wants, and I get to feel like a secret agent as I am on a mission in the middle of the night, which means a midnight dive. I follow this drone thing here that belongs to the Deep Blue gang, and it leads me to what looks like an underwater hideout. Infiltration has been successful. Indeed, I have snuck into their base, but there's a lot of contraptions here, machines, and they're processing dolphin meat? Well, turns out these guys are a bunch of hypocrites. And so Big Boy Dave sneaks his way through this area. That one time I paced myself behind Momo really gave me the practice I needed. I hide behind boxes, avoiding cameras. I hide in the fridge until the coast is clear. Oh, please go, please go, please go, please go, please go, please go. Yeah, you're good, mate, you're good. Good lord. You should be fired, mate. You need to be fired. I'm just gonna duck. And at last I arrive at an office. There's a board with pictures of all of us. Me, Bancho, Bacon. Someone is watching us. I take this piece of equipment, which was luckily sitting on the desk here. However, I get spotted, but Dave is a fighter. I make a quick getaway by diving through the window and taking my leave from this place. Verdict, mission successful. Alright, you gotta dive, mate. You gotta dive. And I pass the parts on to Dr. Bacon the next morning, who will do what he needs to do next. It's also suggested I upgrade some stuff, so I upgrade my knife, as this new one will be able to harvest minerals now. I go and get the last farming plot upgrade, and while I'm here, I decide to buy a bunch of chickens. No particular reason as to why. And I finally get this on recording, as I look at some achievements. One in particular is selling stuff to the blacksmith Dua. I have no idea when his shop opens up to me, however. Another human approaches me. Her name is Clara, and she asks me if I've seen a great white in the area. Not really, but she's looking for one in particular called Klaus. All clues lead to here, and I could catch him on a stormy night. Kinda like this thing Sojo has been begging me to check out for ages, actually. Now, this particular shark took Clara's husband, so she's on a path of vengeance. I promise to keep an eye out, and I'll give her a call when I find him. I shall give you a holler. You have given me no details on how to holler you, but I shall call out your name while I'm underwater. Well, sounds fine to me. I do make that dive this night, photograph this very ugly fish, and I finally find this elusive vortex where Klaus might be. It takes me to what is a boss arena. Klaus is sleeping in the distance, but then wakes with my presence. A mighty roar echoes from the once slumbering beast. How do I contact the old lady? Never mind that. This great white shark is huge. What, like 10 times the length of Dave? That's insane. I shoot all my rifle bullets, but the swine is not scathed. He is angry though, and capable of conjuring up giant whirlwinds, which I need to dodge. Luckily, I have a scooter for the occasion. One single munch from this fella takes almost half my health. Understandable. And things get dangerously close when I let loose another volley. This shark just got clapped by a granny. Clara says that she will have something for me above, but I claim my current prize from this giant great white, and Clara gives me a shark tooth necklace, which I don't think I wore once. Next, I get a call from Sato, who got the notification that I killed Klaus. Of course, this guy is scrounging off my Marinka app, but yeah, looks like that thing he was bugging me about for ages was the great white shark, I think. A new visitor tonight. His name is Django and he's very cold, though I think that's just him. He hands me some hot pepper seeds and he begs me to make him a hot pepper tuna meal to warm his brittle bones. What's going to keep me warm is the suit that Dr. Bacon has prepared for me overnight, and a new fishmon from Udo, a jellyfish wearing a wizard hat. Okay then. Next, I get a call from Sammy. On my way to him, I see my entire farming area is maxed out, so I won't be dumping money into this area anymore, which is a load off my shoulders. Now, Sammy wants a little bit of part-time work to take his mind off his music for a bit. I'll get back to him later, as for now, my cash is all earmarked for upgrades. But Sammy says he can pretty much look after all of my farming needs when the time comes. Right now, the time has come to upgrade my diving suit. I can dive 800 meters down, and that is in fact the last, last upgrade to my diving suit. Finally, looks like something new with Dua. He's coughing even more, so I ask Mima if there's something I can do to help his cough. She says a meal made from a horseshoe crabs are good for coughs. They live in the glacial area and rock crevices. Speaking of which, I finally entered the glacial area for the first time. I start to explore this new section, and of course it's a very cold looking place. I make sure to catch everything I come across at least once for the Marinka app. This place features a giant maze that leads to several areas, and I get frozen by a mineral. I realized that I need to have a better knife before being able to harvest it. I then photograph a huge jellyfish and a narwhal. Interestingly enough, at about 530 meters of depth, the water suddenly becomes warm again. Too warm for me to continue. I do battle with a large Greenland shark, locate new mirrors in the area for quick escape options, and narrowly dodge the horn of a narwhal. Yep, just another normal day for Dave the Diver. However, I see a door here with some scripture on a giant slab. I photograph it for bacon, and I then find this fishmon, a jellyfish wearing a wizard hat. He proves difficult to catch as he blinks like a mage does in World of Warcraft. Usually I have a sniper rifle, but I had switched it out while I was diving earlier today, so I can't get this guy. I can get this picture to Bacon, who helps me decipher this thing. It involves me scanning the entire picture, and it seems to be some sort of spell. I will need to ask someone at the village about this. That is one hand. On the other hand, I need to talk to Otto about crab pots to help me get the horseshoe crab for Dua. I provide Otto with the materials, and I'm graced with this wonderful cutscene. Alright mate, you got it. It's almost breaking. Of course his knee is still aching up because he took an arrow to the knee or something. Or he took a harpoon to the knee is what he said. Regardless, All Boy unlocked the ability for me to use crab pots. Funny enough, I need to speak to him as well about those hot pepper seeds, or more specifically, the habanero seeds. When I have space in my farming plot, I'll go ahead and plant these then. I find that annoying mage again, shoot him from afar, and then I'm able to scoop him up for Udo. I try out this crab pot for the first time. I put some bait inside, and I need to leave it for a little while before I catch something. While I wait, I go and see Nyamo about this rock slab spell. She discovers that this is one of 3 doors in the glacial area. Behind each of those doors, I need to flick switches that will grant me access to the Divine Tree control room. That is where all the earthquakes are originating from right now. My goal is set. I need to activate all 3 switches to get to the Divine Tree control room. Usopp will help me open the first door as he can read the spell for me. But he proceeds to dance, flex, and look like a complete imbecile, which then backfires because he opens the door and I have been humbled by the mighty Usopp. But it's not time for that room just yet. I go back up and I get my crab pot, which is now called a Norway lobster. Only thing is, it's a one-time use until I upgrade it. I then encounter a new type of shark and a tiger shark at the same time. The new one was a mako shark, and tonight I have to challenge Alex to that cook-off. A similar game as before, except I prepared different ingredients. Here's the look at what these two have prepared. Again, the winner is Bancho of course, with the same score as last time. Bancho won because he understood the assignment, fry the sea. He had provided Vincent with another mind-blowing new taste. He presents a cocktail machine for us to improve our overall bar experience. To be honest, I never touched the cocktail machine once. That's Raptor's job. My job is diving. To help me with that, I upgrade my diving knife to its highest level. I then slap a crab pot here, and I punch this mineral, which turns out to be topaz. Ever seen someone mine with a knife before? Now you have. I head into the first glacial cave. I'm going to gloss over these, but it's a series of puzzles, movements, and doors I need to get through. This particular section looks quite dangerous. I play a giant game of pinball, dropping the ball and opening a door, and I get to the final section with a big sea person statue. I have to rotate the arms and head to mimic the mural in the back there, and after an unnecessary amount of time doing that, I finally got the limbs into the correct positions. A square light flashes, and another one one somewhere else, but I see 2 more, so that's 1 of 3. Afterwards, the head of the statue opens up and a light shines upwards, leading me to a passage back out. I had picked up a horseshoe crab, and Mima quite literally steams it to perfection. These cutscenes, my god, I love these cutscenes. I think so. Yep. Oh, that's funny. Even after turning Super Saiyan Sea Fish person, he still has his shop closed. God damn it. Naomo has been talking to Tenzin that it seems that the control room down below is malfunctioning, which is causing the heat rising and the earthquakes. I have 2 rooms left to do. Outside, Ramo tells me that one of the beluga whales have gone missing. I agree to help look for him in the glacial passage. But tonight I have a different type of visit. Lois Crawford, that famous actor Bancho tried to feed a shark once upon a time. What brings her to this lowly place? Apparently her review she did ages ago also affected her reputation. People calling her out, saying that she's closed-minded, all because Bancho dared to serve her a disgusting shark head. She has brought this Italian twat to teach Bancho something about cooking. Of course, the theme of this competition is going to be pasta, something favoring the opposition. Bancho has a list of ingredients for me and 2 days to procure them. Tonight is that shark party, and I make sure to have plenty of shark dishes on the menu, which resulted in another best profit day for me. By the morning of day 31, I have planted those habanero seeds, and they should be ready by this night. Amazing fertile soil, I have to say. For Bancho's thing tomorrow night, I need a Humboldt squid, and I was told that they are a nighttime thing. Okay, until then, the last time I got close to this mineral, it froze me. Not this time, and I successfully mined aquamarine. I knew this beluga whale was going to be somewhere in this passage, and indeed he was. He looks sick though, and the culprit is right there, a venomous squid. So I chased the little felon down. He leads me to a current type portal, but for now, he is indeed trapped. Harvest or rescue. I choose to spare this little cretin, and for my generosity, he drops me a few things, including the antidote to his venom. Wait, what? A gaming logic, people. I don't ask questions, I just feed it to this beluga to cure him, and he looks much healthier now. I go back to this passage because it had a circle on it. It's one of the caves I need to do, but there's a current and I can't enter it. So I swim away in defeat. Gumo also looks defeated. The manatee's baby has also swum off. Can you guess where? The glacial passage, of course. My god, I fetch a lot of large mammals apparently. There's a certain mammal waiting for these hot peppers tonight, actually. I'm doing a nighttime dive, and for the first time I see that you can't go deeper into the blue hole depths during the nighttime. That's okay. The squid I'm looking for is at the medium level, and I make sure to get it quickly, because this poor fella's been waiting for days to feel warmth. A single habanero just growing on the top of a mountain. I actually don't know where they grow. Well, that definitely warmed him up. This is Django, by the way, a wandering merchant, and he collects rare ingredients from all over the world. He can drop by on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday afternoons, and I should check his wares when he's around. Dave has the idea to check out that strong current flowing cave again. It looks like I need to go there, and maybe the currents won't be so strong this day. Another party for cucumber people. My god, there's a lot of parties. Cobra says something out there. He doesn't like cucumbers. What a weird bloke. I then spoke to Otto, who echoed Cobra's feelings towards it. Can I be honest? I like the taste of cucumber. Throw a little bit of pepper and salt on it and you're pretty good. Reluctantly, Allmate says he can sell me some cucumber seeds. Third time's a charm, right? Even Bancho doesn't like cucumbers. What the hell is this? Let me know in the comments whether you like cucumbers or not. Also, while you're down there, slap the like and subscribe button. I think the hype button is also a thing now. Thank you kindly. Anyways, I get a few cucumber recipes. And you know one thing I've been doing this whole time but cut from the video completely? These seahorse races. Reason? I found out that they weren't for any achievements or anything. Literally just a fun silly game on the side. But I was upset that there was no achievement here. I stopped doing them after I finished the first solo section and I never bothered with the team races. I do need to bother with this cooking competition. It's another series of mini cooking games. The thing is they don't actually give you a clear explanation on what you're supposed to do. So I had an absolute stinker of a time with this one. I was also distracted by my son on the monitor and you can't pause during this mini game. Regardless, this is what the final lineup looks like. Allmate gives a quick taste and I was almost worried I lost this one, but no, I got it. Mr. Luigi Cardona looks very aggravated, but yeah, I got 92 and he got 83. I definitely dropped the ball on this one. Luigi rage quits and storms off. Goodbye. But again, Vincent liked his dish as well. Lois is confused. Why didn't he win then? Because Bancho offered a taste he never had. The squid ink mixed with the pasta gave him the taste of the dark ocean. He felt like skinny dipping. Cheers for the visual there, mate. Lois is offended and reminds Vincent who his show's biggest sponsor is, Nolan Crawford, her father, funny enough. But also, he refers to him as Sensei. As a young warthog, Vincent studied under Nolan Crawford, who taught this man the very first basic but hard to master recipe, the omelette. Even as a restaurant owner, he spent time teaching a young apprentice, which was very appreciated. Nolan was also someone who always looked for new tastes and experimented with new recipes. Failure was common, but he always succeeded in the end. Miss Lois, why don't you try Bancho's pasta for yourself? Look at that snarl. Tears in your eyes, I imagine. Yup. Look at that sad, guilty face. She admits it, she has been prejudiced. The pasta, incredible. Not just the visual, it carries the natural flavor of each ingredient, and she criticized it without even tasting it. Bancho, this may be a sudden offer, but would you consider opening up a branch? Goodness me, this game is all about Bancho. I'm just the diver, the guy who runs the food back and forth, the guy who... yeah. Lois wants to help spread Bancho's philosophy about food. Don't worry, if we trust our staff, they know what to do to live up to the reputation of Bancho, but we don't have the funds. Lois says she can look after that. She knows how to run franchises. Consider this Bancho's reward for winning the contest. Okay, we will open a branch, and Lois will look after the entire construction of the new restaurant. My god, what a prize. It's about time for the night shift. The construction will be completed by tomorrow morning. She must be kidding, I agree. Maybe not. I get a call from Lois in the morning. The branch is ready for business? Seriously? Yeah, not a joke. There is a whole new tropical looking bar here. Lois gives us a rundown on how to manage it. The short story. We allocate staff here, and we provide the place with ingredients and let them do the rest. Cobra is just cackling, saying that he owns a second restaurant. Pretty sure this was a gift to Bancho. What a sly dog. Now Bancho is overwhelmed. Guess who he asks to take care of the branch for him? Poor Dave. the diver, the boat driver, the runner, the drink pourer, the explorer, the infiltrator, the manager, and now manager of 2 restaurants. Someone please give this man a holiday. Oh well, I'm getting close to maxing out all of my equipment on iDiver. It's good stuff. Better equipment helps me survive down below, and this day I hear the cries of a manatee in the glacial area. I use several rocks to break into a caved-in section. Inside I find this baby manatee, whom I start to pet vigorously to help calm him down. And when he has, just like with the whale before, I have to fight a few things to escort him out of this cave area. An aggressive narwhal and a starving poor beagle shark. But at least from here, he can find his own way home. Thank God. Back to that cave with the strong current, a beluga whale rocks up to save the day. While holding on, we dive straight through the strong currents. Inside, we dodge jellyfish, we headbutt through ice, we dodge poison-spitting spore type things. Yup, it's a good time. But not so much when I see a giant jellyfish waiting for me at the end of the passage, and she's looking very angry. She sends homing missile jellies at me, which I need to dodge. I swim through her self-generated current, dodging more poison until I get close enough to launch myself into her eyeball, after which I have to dodge a flurry of jellyfish, including her. And then it starts the whole sequence again. I finally deliver enough headbutts, sending her fleeing from my sight. I collect some poison jelly meat for my troubles, and in the next room I find the switch, which I promptly flip and activate the circle room. And now, 2 out of 3 switches have been flipped. Dave can feel less heat than before. Maybe I could head down further. As I do, I make very short pit stops on these ice shelves, looking for something in particular. I do this every day from now on. It's day 33 by the way, and I'll touch on this again when it becomes relevant. I'm about 550 meters down, no longer hot as hell down here, and it looks like a barren wasteland. I see a Dunkleosteus here. I know this one because it takes me back to my Ark Survival Evolved days many years ago. I had to make sure to aim for this big boy's tummy, or else I do no damage. I find a sticky bomb gun, which sounds like a lot of fun, and on the right hand side of this area, I find Usopp outside the final switch room. He's boasting, saying that the hero who defeated the giant Gadon is here to do the final switch, but he needs me help, which is fine. The reason is the next room seems to have air pockets and water sections, so yes, best do this as a duo. Indeed, this next section I took control of Dave and Usopp in turns. When one was trapped, the other one had the solution or switch to flip to allow the other one to progress further. Usopp was nimble in the water, and Dave was, graceful. He was also a little squished at some point. Eventually, Dave can take to the water again. I now had the pleasure of moving both of these fine fellas simultaneously. Those are the controls down there. Usopp protected Dave from tube worms. They took turns holding the chain, so each one could go through. I nearly dropped it there actually. I pulled off some crazy maneuvers to make sure both of them didn't get crushed, so yeah, it was a good time. Especially when Usopp used his hard noggin to lift a giant block, protecting Dave from falling stalactites. You may think that he's doing everything. You're right. For now. Actually, scratch that. Dave comes into clutch now. This is a Helicoprion. It might look silly, but I assure you, fossils of these fellas have been found. Usopp is nowhere to be found. Of course. No, he has tactically retreated all the way up there, yapping about some strategy that I should employ. Never mind his great idea. I found that sticky bomb gun before. You know what's great? That gun was amazing. I also applied some poison to him to get some damage over time. I am familiar with this. I played a rogue in World of Warcraft, and I completely littered him with bombs. Quite rude actually, and it dies shortly later. I didn't even do what Usopp was trying to suggest. Praise his strategic brain, huh? Get out of here. Dave collects the prize he has earned, and in the next room, the final switch has been pushed. All lights are on, and the doors start to open, but soon they get stuck, and I can see some roots in there. Maybe the door is jarred. Indeed, when Dave inspects it, the divine tree roots are clogging up the door. But just then, Mr. John Watson comes by again. We have a quick argument, but it doesn't really matter what we discussed, because he starts firing missiles at me again. I try to lead them back around and damage him with his own weaponry, but nothing like that occurred this time. I am running like a rat, he claimed. I am indeed. This is looking kinda bad. It's about to get much worse. Right, that's a lot. Indeed, would you believe a Chronosaurus has appeared out of nowhere? The late John Watson's missile launcher. Perhaps it'll be useful to me. I dash for it, struggle to figure out how to fire this thing, but when I do, it is for big damage. I dropped it though, so I have to dodge this big bite from Old Boy. He does slap me with his tail though, and I see the missile launcher is now broken? Oh no. A few moments later, the ancient reptile inhales boulders and the gun, but I see it's flashing again. Maybe it had a short recharge timer. I think this to myself as I dodge a barrage of rocks. I take a risk to retrieve it. Gets scorched by his flame breath, followed with a big slap by his tail again, which nearly proves fatal. I make another shot just in time and dash for this oxygen shell and get out of a very nasty situation. Another shot to the face, but my whole body gets roasted a few moments later. I hope this will be the final shot. I can't last another round, and luckily it was. The ancient reptile has been defeated by a tiny mammal with a bazooka. A moment later, Bacon pops in with a drone and projects a hologram of himself, a piece of technology that was also made with the help of Duff. If Duff has touched this thing, you can bet that he's attached laser cutters to it. I request them to start cutting a way through here. This is going to be a tough job. Bacon says it'll take 2 days. I should go and do my thing and he will let me know when he's done. I go and help myself to some Chronosaurus tongue while I'm here. That was 3 bosses in 1 day. That jellyfish, twirly shark, and then that ancient lizard. Dave needs to relax with a bit of a harvest, live the good life, but for goodness sake, it's a stormy night. I thought that great white shark was the only nighttime boss, but Old Boy is here on his little paddle boat. Of course, why not make it 4 bosses in a single day? Another giant room with an overturned monster truck. It's odd to see something like this, even odder when it starts to move. Yep, that's a giant hermit crab, a truck hermit crab. I make a break for it and he throws debris at me. I take a few shots and nothing, no damage. Fast forward a bit and I see that when he pounds the ground, these barrels pop up. I have to toss these on top of him and I'm sure they did some damage. This is barrel number 2. Number 4, and eventually the truck on his back starts to explode, leaving this poor fellow homeless and ashamed, so ashamed that he flees. I help myself to his claw meat that he has so generously left behind. So you are aware, again, each boss I've defeated has dropped me something. That something can be used to make a dish of 10 high-priced meals. Today, I'm going to be selling that steamed Chronosaurus tongue, alongside my tropical sushi. I'd rave about the cost of that tongue, but my tropical sushi level is also quite high by this point. Each dish sells for over 1,000 gold, which is pretty damn good. I also realized that I should have stocked the branch as well. I didn't. Old mate Arnold there sold Noramaki all night. To 10 people. He had 10 angry customers. Oh dear, I need to sort out that place properly. It's day 34 and I visit the branch. I give them all some decent training. Everyone is level 5, except Raul, the manager, which is 7. I make use of my fish farm properly, for the first time actually, and decide to send everything to the branch, so they have ingredients to make something. I also see I could have been selling fish from here for extra cash, but oh well, that's my loss. At this time, I decide to just pay to have every single section available to me, so that I can collect fish from all areas. I just felt like doing this. Django rocks up in the afternoon and I check his wares. I had no cash, unfortunately, but I see he sells a random bunch of things and also a secret recipe. I need to make sure I have cash next time. I visit the branch again and I make sure to have the right ingredients to make the same recipes I do. So tonight, they will be able to sell the trevally and the red mullet meals, both solid choices. My choices were solid as well. I smashed the best profit day by quite a bit. I should have money for Django's thing next time. The branch did well as well. They had one unhappy person, probably the Noramaki human who came in late and the menu was exhausted. Some good news from Bacon on day 35. He's managed to cut just a bit, enough for one person to fit through the control room door. Dave then says something obvious? It's common sense to clear all the missions before fighting the boss in an RPG. This is not an RPG game, but being overly prepared doesn't hurt. Okay, fair enough. I will spend some time doing things. Well, the game has told me to take some time doing everything else, so I will do exactly that. Enter Chapter 7, Broken Control Room. My farm plot soils have been losing the nutrients over time, so I go ahead and buy some fertilizers for these. I then buy every single last iDiver thing that I could, and they're all maxed out now. It's been a while since I started farming, and I finally see something. I like how Otto's clapping every single time you harvest some crops. It makes him so happy. Yeah, you get that carrot. I did get that carrot. And I also got a photo of the coelacanth. He was fast. So was I, using this mirror to escape this big boy. And Udo gave me 1200 for that photo, which is a winner. It was the cucumber night, and I made sure to put those particular dishes on the menu. I may have forgotten to send some cucumbers to the branch as indicated by all those angry faces. God damn it. Poor Raul is having a stinker of a time as manager. At least he keeps a smile on his face and a flex on his lats. It's the weekend, and a new fishmon for Udo, a jellyfish that will only be revealed if exposed to special light. It sounds like a UV light kind of hunt. It's also time to get the final Cookster rating. Honestly, these guys just look happy to see me, and even happy to be here. These guys are just happy to see us, to be honest. It's like they already know. They're like, yep, give it to them. Beautiful, mate. Diamond has been reached and the achievement is mine. Speaking of which, this one has bugged me. I quickly update the interior and voila, another achievement. I get round to actually selling an entire fish tank to see how it felt. It's nice, like a passive way to make money as these fish have been added here over time. I used the funds to get my team to level 10. Really, the money required to do this starts to skyrocket, but I do need to get at least one person to the maximum level for an achievement. Marinka, funny enough, is not tied to any achievements, but I wanted to complete this one for myself regardless, so I do spend a bit of extra time in each water depths looking for things I haven't caught yet. This also includes any crustaceans I get with crab pots, so I make sure to leave my pots around and collect them as well. I find that fishmon, which is an invisible squid. I do have a UV light for the occasion, which he floats into. I get slightly confused and then trigger happy as I just shoot him with my harpoon. I caught him regardless. I buy a secret recipe from Cold Boy Django, something with those habaneros. To be honest, never bothered with it, and it was the only recipe I ever bought. Something I also did but not really mentioned was I was always keeping kind of on top with the sea person farm. I always found plenty of kelp and stuff regardless, so this was kind of like, oh yeah, I've got seeds at the village. Should probably go and collect them. I heard a voice behind this wall of ice. I strategically piss off a narwhal, let this poor bugger slam his snozer into the wall, and in I go. After a bit of a current surf, I find this fella and his turtle. They are stuck in here. They have been living off seaweed for a little bit. Well, that will make 3 of us soon. Let's find a way out. Dave suggests we should use Donna and catapult her against the wall. Oh god. This goes about as well as you think it would. I mean, it works. And after a little while, I won't lie, Donna crashes her skull for the last time against the ice wall, and we are free to go. But we make sure to go out in style, of course. Why? So good. For freeing them, Mr. Handsome Fish gives me an ice pick. It might come in handy somewhere. I've also been doing the Eco Watcher stuff the entire time. I haven't really mentioned it because there was also no achievement for this, but I kept it up for me, of course. Guess who's here tonight? Because it's storming. You know the drill. Well, I wasn't expecting some giant shrimp thing with boxing gloves. That looks insane. Honestly, this is my second attempt here. I didn't understand what I was supposed to do, initially anyways, but I learned that I shoot this fella in the eyes when he lets his guard down. He does get angry often, pounding the ground and sending currents my way, but I defeat him in no time. Just another random boss to conquer in this wonderful game called Dave the Diver. If it isn't obvious, by the way, Sato is using me, just like Ellie, to collect all these things for them. But the next morning, Sato does introduce me to something I know I'll need for an achievement. It's the Gyao game. and I'll get into it shortly when it's time. I've been watering my plants with this first level watering can the entire playthrough. I didn't upgrade it because it looked like it only increased the water capacity, so I upgraded it, and guess what? It turns into a sprinkler at level 4, so I no longer need to water my crops. I wish I did this sooner. Maki is my first employee. I chose to max all the way to level 20. To get it from 12 to 13 takes 8,000 gold, by the way. Linchen's little purple squid ran away again. He's in this chunk of ice, so I get to use this ice pick this turtle fella gave me for the occasion. I successfully break the sheet of ice, and then I had to make a trail of food for this little bugger to scoff up until I could finally snatch him up. I then caught a photo of these two humpback whales cruising along the blue hole. But on day 38, I set out to focus on the Marinka app. The medium depth was done at least. What's not done or never unlocked is Old Boy's shop. I swim around in defiance because I've been visiting him for ages and I never figured out why he hasn't opened his shop. Tonight at the bar, we have a strange visitor, some wizard alchemist looking fella. He somehow dropped his cauldron in the sea. His magical cauldron. The thing is, it glows at nighttime, so best to go look for it then. It's the morning of day 39. I still had a few things left to do, but I felt like going on with the storyline this day. Maki is level 15. To get it to 16 will cost me 23,000, which is really getting up there. Not up there, but I'm far down below. There's still hot air coming from inside the control room, but I can go in. Inside, the roots have severely mutated. There's a lot of tree sap covering a door down there. I pick up a large slug type creature and I pop him on this platform to open a door for me. However, he gets the last laugh as he moves off the platform, closing the door and effectively locking me in here. Oh dear. I get chased by some giant scorpions, which is nightmare fuel. I grab this divine fruit, but they look kind of bad. In fact, they explode a short duration after picking them up, so I use them to blow up the sap down below. I use another such shell creature to block an active geyser, and I do the same with 3 of these guys, and when I block all of these geysers at the same time, I cause this mini volcano to erupt, breaking through the ceiling and giving me a passage back out. Conveniently for me, there's a divine fruit there, and I use it to blow this other passage open. Inside, I dodge little volcanoes when they spew their heat at me, but I do get my toes seared off a little bit here. I finally make it to a big room, and in this place, there's a lot of mucus and a bunch of eggs. They are attached to the divine tree. They hatch, and odd arthropod looking things come towards me. Dave recognizes these from the Sea People murals. They may be those ancient creatures that the old crazy engineer infused with the divine fruit tree, and they're still alive. Well, a few of them died just then and I got trigger happy. What? They were coming right for me. In the next room, not just a few eggs, but what looks like a whole hatchery. There's also a door there and a healthy looking divine fruit. I use it to power up this device, which turns out to be some sort of laser. Luckily for me, because the eggs start hatching and I need to defend myself, as well as try and blow that door passage clear. The numbers are increasing, but my aim is true, and I have a moment to melt this gunk off the door. In the next room, I see more of these creatures, and they're all latching themselves to what looks like the nucleus of the divine tree. This could be the reason the tree is acting strangely, so I need to get rid of these little cretins. I slap each one of them with my harpoon, and when they're all gone, it looks like the nucleus of the divine tree is stabilizing again. Perhaps this will stop the earthquakes as well. Speaking of earthquakes, the earth is rumbling right now, and from the lava pit down below, a giant version of those creatures appears. In this game, they are called Yawis, but I've watched that documentary, Walking with Monsters. This is Anomalocaris, Earth's first super predator, because it had eyes, and those eyes are locked onto Dave, and he's looking a little bit nervous. But in the nick of time, Bacon's drone comes flying into this room. Bacon is surprised to see this ancient creature still alive, and significantly bigger than the mural drawings. It has been absorbing the energy from the divine tree, so this thing must be defeated to stabilize the divine tree then. Duff cuts in. This drone is also a weapon. He activates it and switches it into attack stance, which is good stuff. What's also ridiculous is that this thing can manipulate time. Wait, what? While I'm having this wonderful debrief with the lads, the Yaoi patiently waits for me to get my act together. Very polite, but looks like she's ready to do battle now. The gun thing shoots beams of laser, which is good stuff. My foe is quite large, so it's hard to miss. She sends waves of I guess, tiny yaois at me, and I become a sorcerer, manipulating time to dodge these ferocious attacks, while also maintaining my own onslaught, of course. It can get tricky as little gaggles of enemies break off, surprising me and making me exhaust my magical prowess. She turns her back and sends large orbs of pain that detonate, sending even more little orbs of pain my way. I do my best to play defensively and maintain my offense the entire time. Duff suggests for me to unlock my ultimate, but as I do, she does the same thing and I'm forced to back away, dodge, and then unleash a giant laser beam straight into her face. That one hurt, I'm sure, but the battle continues. It gets intense when I have to dodge so much, but Dave the Wizard shall not be defeated. The yaoi senses this and she goes on the defense and tries to do a runner. I can't let her just get away, this has to end now. I wish I knew how to get rid of the gold text on the left because it's quite distracting. Regardless, I become the hunter in this sequence. I have about 178 O2 left, so things are looking dicey. A new wave of enemies accost me, and I do my best to dodge and maintain damage. I found a nice sweet spot, and I decide another dose of my huge laser bolt is required. One is not enough. While she unleashes a new attack of fireballs, I charge it up again, dodge a barrage of attacks, and unleash my full power yet again. Overconfidence starts to creep in, and I'm humbled when I take a giant bolt of lava to the face. I have 87 O2 left. I do get another attack off, but things are looking bad for me. This is a battle of attrition. But she's finally starting to get tired, but it's a ruse. She caught me off guard and nearly delivers the final blow to me. Instead, she opens a giant passage that leads upwards. I drop my gun and things look bad, but I manage to grab it again quickly because the once mighty hunter, now on 52 O2, this is all one attempt by the way, I am now on the run and I need to make sure I don't get hit. The time thing really works wonders. This continues for a short while. Focusing purely on defense has helped me take no damage, at the cost of doing no damage myself. But I'm trapped. A quick press of the Q button and I dodge her attack. Another quick reaction and I'm able to dodge her body slam, which wrecks this entire room. This last attack she did has entangled her. She's trapped. However, my own weapon is now badly damaged and it's unusable. But wait, there's a divine fruit up there next to what looks like a giant bazooka. It might come in handy. Help has finally arrived. The sea people have noticed the divine tree stabilizing and I've been gone for much longer, so they sent reinforcements. Even the king is here on the front lines. That is the definition of leadership. And even a king is allowed to be frightened in this situation when he sees this giant yaoi. A plan is hatched. We will work together to use this gun to bring down this mighty beast. I like how they're all working hard, while Dave is just taking a quick breather, like he could literally already be moving towards the fruit. He does, eventually, and the gun is fired up. An ultimate finisher is unleashed upon this giant monstrosity. Defeat all bosses. Beautiful, mate. Oh, straight to the face. Ugh. My aim was precise, just like Usopp. It won't recover from that state, mate. It's missing its head. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be coming back from that. It's time to head home. The water temperatures have stabilized and the divine fruit tree is in good condition. The villagers who were ill are slowly getting better. This should also cease all earthquakes. I should go up and check the status. Epilogue. Friends. We're at Bancho's and everyone that has shared this journey with me is here. Except Duff, he's kind of here? Does that count? Literally came in spirit, he did. Everyone congratulates me on what I've accomplished. It's time for some food. I have a chat to everyone, but I'm gonna mention what Cobra says here. He's thinking of seeking another adventure, which might be a reference to Dave the Diver in the jungle. I'm really keen to play that one as well. For now, there's still a few things left for me to do, but let's enjoy this night. The end credits is also something to remember. I've read the achievements, and I have to shoot all the developer names or something. I missed that one, but I did get the one where I had to watch the ending credits. I quickly watched them again, and this time round, I was able to shoot all the developer names. There was 23 of them. I currently have 36 out of 43 achievements, and a few things left that I want to do. Eco Watcher is one of them, and I need to kill 10 10 more striped catfish. They are in the shallows, so this should be easy, right? Not exactly. I did some research and I saw that some fish can only spawn in certain biome days, like those days where there was heaps of seaweed. Yeah, I need to wait for that day to get these striped catfish. I also thought I had one blueprint left to go, but I came across the ice gun for the first time, meaning I need to find this bad boy a few times as well for that achievement. I think this is also something to admire. The sea people have made a statue of Dave, got his proportions right and everything. I like it. So the main storyline is done. The sea people are recovering. Surely Dua will have a shop open for me now. Turns out, no, he is not open. Why the hell is he not open? Okay, I don't know how or where, but somewhere in my experience, I was supposed to call Duff about the fact that I was going down to the glacial area and that my current weapons wouldn't be strong enough. This prompts Duff to tell me that I need to bring up minerals from down there, but maybe someone in the village can refine them for me or something. Now I can speak to Dua, who miraculously says he's feeling better now and can open a shop. When I've completed the game. He sells some stuff I can see, but I sell him literally hundreds of orbs, glass, until I finally see the achievement I want to see. I always thought that getting the currency of the sea people was a bit hard, but here you go. I missed a critical piece of dialogue that would have made this so much easier. I may have been more inclined to really expand my farm area down here as well, but oh well. By this time, I'm still making daily visits to the glacial area, looking for something, and I get chased by narwhals every single time. It gets really annoying. What's also annoying was that because I unlocked Dua's shop, Duff will be able to upgrade my weapons further using the sea people materials. Did I complete the game with like inferior items, did I? I must have. Indeed I have. I can improve my sniper rifle to its highest level. This sure would have been handy. More damage and 6 bullets as opposed to 4. God damn it. I was never aware of this because I got the achievement ages ago about enhancing my gun 3 times, so I assumed my gun was at the maximum level. I was incorrect. I'll go for this now because I have to. It's day 41 and I fed the cats on this wonderful morning, and then I got the achievement to feed them 20 times. I had no idea where I was up to with this one. Don't think I ever fed them again, to be honest. Mucky is level 16 and for 17 it'll cost me 33,500. I know I only have to get 1 to maximum, but fun fact, the entire team will be maxed out. It's that seaweed biome day, time to look for some uncaught fish, like this electric marbled ray, which you can't see because of the seaweed. My apologies. I get into a biff with 20 of these catfish, and that's the final thing I needed to do for the Eco Watcher. This blood looking jellyfish always does a self-destruct on me, meaning I've never actually caught him. I make sure to put this bastard to sleep and I simply pluck him up from the water, and that's this cave area completely done. For the glacial and the hot area, I had to revisit some of those switch rooms to get the final fish I was missing in those areas. In the control room, I had to lay down a crab pot to get the Anomalocaris, which is in fact in the game. Eco Watcher is completely done. Max level has been reached, done and dusted. I also got the weapon collector achievement, so that is one crossed off my list. I needed 25 ruby ores in order to make my next level rifle, and I have started this collection. However, this day I had a shovel, so I had to miss it today. But tonight I made a dive specifically to get a few crabs, and I didn't get them. And I also didn't see that magical glowing cauldron, but I do see that all the lobsters are done. I still have 2 seahorses left and 2 things in the shallow area. I finally see Dre on the employee list and I make sure to hire him. He's a YouTuber I watched way back when. I watched his Stranded Deep series, but this is going on 10 years ago. Bloody hell. I know one of the things I need is the green sea urchin, so I give MXM2 a call as it's part of a meal order. She comes for a dive to find them. It's a protect the NPC quest where she looks through a few rocks for her desired urchin while I fend off the lionfish, the titan triggerfish, and eventually sharks. It's okay, I'm not new to this, I've got a defense sorted. And she's finally found what she's looking for. I then find one of the seahorses I'm looking for, and he was sneakily hiding among these bones. I do my usual narwhal dodging expedition looking for an achievement, and I read that the last seahorse I'm looking for has a chance to appear when I'm mining a ruby. It suits me, I'm looking for this mineral anyways. No seahorse today however, but I do spot Old Mate Wizard's cauldron tonight. Like a beacon, I cart this thing to the surface. The light is so bright he could see it from wherever he was watching me from. He has given me a magic mortar. I can use this to make potions for myself. They look nice. They give me short duration buffs for the dives I used them. I wish this guy wandered into my playthrough sooner. These would have been utilized often actually. This is the third crossover by the way, for the Potion Craft Alchemist Simulator. That first one was Balatro the card game, second was MXM Toon, which I'll get back to in a second, and this Alchemist game. Good stuff. About MXM Toon, I give her meal to her. So she enjoyed her meal very much and she feels energized. She offers to give us a performance. After the night sales, I get this cutscene where she gives the lads a musical performance. She sings 2 songs for us. I would really like to play these songs for you, but I'm compelled not to due to YouTube copyright stuff, and I'm certain these will be copyrighted anyways. I like how everyone is jamming along with the music. I ask for an encore and she performs her latest hit, Rain. Come in close, I want to tell you something. The next song brought a tear to my eye. It has become one of my favorite songs, and I have since then looked up MXM Toon and listened to her music. This Rain song in particular, I've slapped on repeat while I'm at work quite a few times. It may or may not be your cup of tea, but I highly recommend checking out her channel and her music. I'll link her Rain song video in the description. Funny enough, this moment is the one that will stick with me for a very long time. I loved this cutscene. When I think back to my experience with this game, this moment comes to mind. Now, I have a new Fishmon, the invulnerable triggerfish. He lives up to his reputation. Everything I tried this day didn't work. His scales are too tough. I didn't get him, but I saw how many of his brethren I have at my fish farm. Really, I should have been using my fish farm like this, making sure I have just the fish I use for my recipes. And I send this to the branch as well. 41 dishes of tropical fish sushi is prepared. I got one extra because of Yone's perk to create extra meals. We completely sold out, and the highest profit day by far. Even Raul at the branch had a record day. I have 87,000 to my name. I read I had to shoot this guy with a lightning infused gun, and I can only capture him that way, which I did. And I finally harvested this ruby rock, and from within it comes the final seahorse I was looking for. I have one thing left for the Marinka app. By day 45, Maki has 1 level left before 20. It is going to cost me 100,000 gold. My god, that's insane. The last thing I'm looking for is a small fish that appears in the rain. Unfortunately, he's also quite rare apparently. What else is rare is this bloody thing I'm still looking for in the glacial passage. It's not until day 46 I finally find that last fish to catch, the small spotted dart. And because I did catch it, I get this glorious cutscene. Oh, what's this all about? Now Old Boy says, because I got everything, a hidden card, a hidden boss becomes available to me. The name, Luska. This one is called Maki, and she is a god at cooking. Achievement is unlocked. Now I start with everyone else. Also the branch people. I pop Dre into the manager position, and Raul in the kitchen hand. It should be fine. He's supposed to be the manager and he's playing a game. Now Luska will show up on a stormy night. The forecast is fine for the next few days, so it has given me time to get what I need to upgrade my gun to its best, and to watch a very questionable cutscene. This is a new one. Well, unlocking this weapon has prepared me as much as I can for that last boss fight. It's a few days later because nothing interesting is happening, but the new fishmon for me to catch is the spotted moray eel. I started playing this mini game that Sato showed to me called Gyao. For some reason, raising 5 of these little things gets me an achievement, and it's mostly just a grindy thing. For now, this new Gyao has started, and I'll have to check up on him 3 times a day, which I do, and it evolves into its first stage. I feed it, have a quick play, and that's it for now. This night I have a bit of a scuffle with this electric moray eel, and I get some foul play from these little red fish that make it bothersome, but I do get him. I remember just now that there was an achievement for this, catch 5 fishmon. Okay, there you go. There's actually 9 total, so maybe I'll go for the rest of them as well, despite the fact it's not necessary. This night the Gyao is sleeping, so I make sure to turn off the light so he can sleep better. The next morning he's sick, so I have to heal him, and it's a stormy night. So I go into this vortex this evening to find the final boss. Oh my god. What is this? Yeah, that looks bad. What? Oh my god. Yeah, no, that thing needs to be cold. Old Luska boy is quite quick. I have an opportunity to press Z to dodge an attack and then dodge more poison balls from a distance while I pepper him with some rifle shots. I love the sniper rifle. I found more bullets, but he followed me and I wanted to make sure I don't get hit. He does a big whirlwind attack and created a destructo disc that moves around. A few moments later, a vertical disc which I narrowly dodged. I'm glad I don't need to see old boy to shoot him because my sniper bullets travel forever. I mean, I think he was winding up for a big attack here, but I managed to deliver the final blow. I was gonna say the sniper rifle for this is just so powerful. All mate is pleased he has finally completed his Marinka collection. He then gives me his hat as thanks. Really? No, I don't want that. It's fine. He has a spare. He has spares of the same hat, so he is always prepared it seems. I see on day 52 my Gyao has died. Oops, I guess I have to start again. Because I felt like it, I bought all the chickens I could from old mate Sammy, even the chicken feeder and the egg storage thing, as I won't be visiting here every day anymore. I did this because I hired Sammy. I gave him a bunch of seeds and instructions and I'll let him do his thing with some part-time farming work. This frees me up so I can focus more on these Gyaos. I found the management tab here where I can see their hunger and their affection level. I won't let another one die of starvation. As I'm doing that, every day and for a long time now, I'm checking the glacial passage for something special. I'm just not finding it. This time round, this guy gets sick and he's made a bit of a mess in his tank, so I make sure to give it a good clean of course. It takes a few extra days, but the thing finally evolved into a dolphin. I'm given the prompt that a new one has been acquired, which means I've raised one Gyao now, I think. So I start again, and it's the same thing. I then started recording randomly 6 days later, day 62. Okay, I don't know what day it is. I think it might be 3, 4, 5 days later on. But here we go. Here's the thing. Here is Mjolnir. My god. Drop this on your head. He hit me as well. I gotta pull out the thing. How do I catch a fish? Catch a fish, catch a fish. Ah, caught a fish with Mjolnir. I think this one actually took maybe 9 hours to do, 9-ish, 8 to 9 hours. This achievement took me forever to do and it's finally done. A fun fact, I think maybe a week after I finally got this achievement, a patch dropped to make finding Mjolnir much easier. God damn it. But I'm almost done, so I skip dives a lot these days. Dave reads a book in the afternoon. I raise Gyaos, I even neglect the bar at night, and I watch some movies it seems. Sammy is doing a wonderful job with the farm. Look at the variety of the crops. But whenever I skip nights, Bancho looks very displeased. I don't understand why Dave has to be there. Bancho is very capable of running the shop with the rest of the staff members. That is quite literally what they're paid to do, especially as I'm still paying their wages every single day. It's not until night 74 when I finally raise my last Gyao and I get the achievement. They were all dolphins. I had no idea how to switch the type of creature, but I'm glad it worked out in the end. You've unlocked all achievements, 43 out of 43. That is an achievement. I've also not been paying Sammy, so these two stooges are literally standing here in a very dead field of shrubs and stuff. It's fine, I guess. A quick montage here. Here's one Fishmon. Here's the second Fishmon. It was in the glacial passage. Here's the third one. It was in the switch room area in the glacial area. And the final Fishmon, a turtle that shoots me with molten lava, which was in the control room. This guy was actually tough. He killed me. I was killed by a turtle, but not a giant yaoi. Now, It's day 100 by the way, very poetic for 100%, and I managed to knock out this fella on this occasion. I did these fish mob because I wanted to, kinda, but I was a bit disappointed that I didn't get anything for catching all of them, but I did catch all of them, and honestly, that's enough. So anyways, that's 100% of Dave the Diver. Hey Musketeer, I see that you're still here, that is awesome! Would you like more? I mentioned Stardew Valley, so how about 100% video of that? Or what about 100% of Dredge? Or how about 100% of Planet Crafter? Until next time, one for all and all for one. Cheers Musketeers.